Trouble. Watch out. Watch you wicked them all. Say the wicked them all. And go now. Hey. Watch you wicked them all. Say the wicked them all. And go now. Well. Pleasant morning, afternoon, evening, and good night for many of those who tune in to Mystic Sensation live as usual. Tonight, of course, whatever time of day it is in your Deca Foods, right? We are going to have another fabulous live stream. Right, you know, we cannot start and will not start unless we endorse, of course, the people in our chat room. They are the Energizer Bunnies, and we have to meet and greet and endorse them. Melting Pot, big up yourself. But let me first endorse the people in the chat room, of course. All right, here we have in class, we have Beverly 975, always up and running. Richard Reed 4665. And of course, let me just go down the aisle here. We have Uriah Walker, right? We have Dorrit Edwards, Linnell McCormack. Hope I don't spoil that name. Dorothy McCoy, right? Danette Ariat, right? And of course we have Dark Carty, Winnie, Mead, bless up yourself, Sister Winnie, big up yourself, Ellen 2 Rose 510, Kimon, Ashaniel Marcus, and the chat is just getting out of hand already. Of course we have our Falmouth girl, all right. And remember, people, do like Falmouth girl, right? Join up the club, right? We have Kimon, right? We have Mark NC 45778. Big respect to you, Delia Headlam, Beverly Stewart, Nelson Lee, Patricia Bunton, Vernest Simpson, right? Blessed Woman, right? Celine Brown and Rowan Williams and Rice JA5138, Joan Bailey, right? The Humble Lady, Unstoppable, love that. and Gerald Brown, right? Daniel Harriet, and people are just rolling in. And for persons who are rolling in, Janiel, Lyndon Green, and those persons who are coming in into the lobby, one umbrella greetings to you all. Love you, right? One family, and we are moving as a movement, a powerful movement. Now, without any delay, let me just have Brother Melting Pot meet and greet, because you know, some Brother Melting Pot, I will touch up some of the people them in a hall over the Kingston here right now, meet and greet his people them. So let me just give Melting Pot the platform as it relates to his endorsement. Melting Pot.
Thank you, Sir Lord Byron.
Blessing.
Pleasant greetings to you all. Good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are. This is the Mystic Sensation Live. It's a Thursday edition. And we are here once again, just to continue the works. Yeah, just to keep the journey, in our sight. So I want to big up my people as usual in the chat room. Yes, it's nice to have you all here once again. Big up my friends then and family down in Ground Zero. Love you all. Hope you're all, doing well this afternoon, in spite of everything. Big up to my fans them in the Kingston 13 year at 2 Mile Heights. Boy, me I tell you, say, it's a blessed place. Both Island, big up on yourself. Yeah, man. Whitfield Town, Greenwich Farm, big up on yourself. Yeah, Waltham Heights, enough respect, Pitora Road, Fitzgerald Avenue, Burke Road, Nelson Road, big up on yourself, man. Yeah, man, enough love and respect. Alexander Road, Pembroke Road, big up on yourself, same way. Nelson Road, enough love and respect. Yeah, say Spanish Town Road, 2 mile, And that's so at the thing, you understand? So enough love and respect to the 2 Mile Heights them. Delacree Park Road. Yeah? Big up on yourself, same here. Crescent Road, big up on yourself. Yeah, St. Joseph Road, big up on yourself. Brannerton Avenue, Payne Avenue. Yeah, Oakland Road, Oakland Crescent, Oakland Drive, Oakland, Terrace. Big up on yourself, man. Love and respect. Union Heights. Yeah, man. Oh, if you forget on man. You mad. Big up on yourself, all Union Heights. This is the Mystic Sensation Live. I hope you're all tuning in this afternoon, and just relax and, take in where I go on, because these are the people business around here, so. Yeah, man, round a mystic are the people business, are the people we vouch for. Yeah? So we just say, sit tight, relax, Mystic Sensation Live. Over back to you, Sir Lord Byron.
All right, blessing on the relay, Melting Pot. And as what Melting Pot said, let me just take it on the relay. Yes, indeed, this platform definitely is the defender for the people. No two way about that. Big up yourself, Father Lonesome, right? Yes, I know that you'll be endorsing your show for later Titans, right? Big up yourself. For all other platforms who are doing great, fighting for justice, calling out the government, right, as it relates to the kleptocratic government, the Banana Republic, right, the criminal organization, right? It is what it is. And over here, we don't mince our word. We speak it for what it is, right? And we speak truth to power. Now, let me say this, right? The last time we were here, we had featured Juliet Owners lease flat property. I want to give all the persons who are listening now, right, some information on that, and we are going to juggle down again later, right. So some investigation is actually on the way where that is concerned. Now, let me say, Jamaican people, very, very soon, right, the Integrity Commission investigators, right, I presume will be looking in that situation. The matter, right, as it relates to the lease flat property, right, has been processed and now delivered as it relates to respective people. I will not say on this platform, as it relates to the people who are now looking into it, but as I said, the respective platforms, the appropriate, right, entities, right, who deals with investigation, right, they are now looking into it. Once again, as I said, we hold people accountable around here. And we are going to defend the people's business. Now, let us begin this morning with what we call a beat and teach moment, because what Jamaica has missing and becomes a very serious situation to all of us, right, and our future generation. We have a virus in our political system, and the virus, simple, are the corruptors that, I will say, hijack the political system, criminals in Parliament, right, as it relates to the Jamaica Labour Party administration, who had hijacked, right, our political system and, threaten our future. And it is very serious that we call them out on this, right? Mystic Sensation, Melting Pot, right? Lonesome, Rattigan, right? Andre Stevenson, and many more. Attack for the Press, Talk Your Mind, right? These channels are channels who are going to hold them accountable. And we are not going to be afraid, right, to do the people's business, right? We are defending our generation, and we are not going to allow, right, a criminal entity to rob us from our sovereignty. We are going to fight with the last breath that we have, and we are guaranteeing that we are going to fight. But let us go into a beat and teach moment when we talk about leadership and quality, right? And when we talk about might cannot beat right, and you cannot be strong and wrong. So let me show my Jamaican people a wonderful little beat and teach moment between Andrew Holness and, of course, the opposition leader with all honors, right, Mark Jefferson Golden. So let us get into that little beat and teach moment, right, where Mark Golden had corrected, right, an arrogant behavior as it relates to, right, this piece of grandstanding, right, in the Parliament. And I am happy, right, that Mark Golden brought him to bear, right, and teach him, right, some experience and educate him. Now, my people, without any delay, look at this beat and teach moment. Look at this. Awesome.
It is a bit distressing that the leader of the opposition, who pretends to leadership, does not understand. Well, his comments would suggest that he does not understand the difference between a governing board and an advisory board.
On a point of order, the Prime Minister said that executive agencies don't have boards. That was incorrect. They do have advisory boards. He also said something about the CEO appointing the board, which is also incorrect. Typically, the minister under whose portfolio the executive agency falls appoints the board. And this, NARA, is not an executive agency. It is a statutory body. Clause 3 makes it absolutely clear. It's a statutory body to which the relevant section of the Interpretation Act applies. Section 28, which means it can hold property, can sue in its own name and be sued, etc. This is not an executive agency. That whole discussion about an executive agency is a complete red herring.
Now, my Jamaican people, look at that. Mr. Arrogance got up in the Parliament and embarrassed himself. Show Jamaica how ignorant he is of the process. And Mark Golden taught him a lesson. This goes to show you that this man both lacked experience, lacked the knowledge, and this is why the country is like this, right? Doesn't have the know-how, right, to run a country. And that is one of the reasons why we are suffering, right? The only thing that Andrew Holness had mastered very well, right, is scamming, PR, This is a PR government. And I love Omar Golden, right, stood up and taught him, right, a beat and teach moment. Now, I want to pivot to something before we start class, because we don't start the class yet, people, right? We're just going through the rough, right? We just taxiing down the runway. Now, let me just point out another thing before we lift up. All right, look at this, my Jamaican people, and let me put it out there, because I want people to all see it. I want people to all see it. Let me share it big so that people can see it. Now, NNN, right, owed government revenues over the tune of $1 billion. And NNN has no TCC, right? But yet, they have been paid millions of dollars to carry the government propaganda. Here it is. Cliff Hughes, George Davis, Tana Thompson, Richard Brooks, right? Now, these are the persons who are robbing, let me say, right, categorically clear, robbing Jamaican revenues, robbing our tax monies, robbing our tax dollars. And Andrew Holness criminal government allowed them to do it. So when you see that they are defending the government, they are defending the government because, of course, their heads are in the trough of corruption. And we now know that they do not compliant as it relates to, right, a tax compliance certificate. This is an embarrassment as it relates to NNN, right? The criminal network robbing our revenues. Let me just take them away, right? It's a shame. And they are coming out speaking all sort of crap out of their mouth, right? But one can understand, right, why they are doing it, as a result of robbing our revenues, and as a result triggered a budget shortfall, right? And so then that is what is happening. I don't know if Melting Pot want to say something on it before we open the class. Melting Pot, do you wish to speak on it, on those two clips, or you want me to go forward?
No, I would like to, just add a little bit to what is being mentioned.
Yes, come in, Melting.
Because, them always like to run out on people. And in recent weeks, we have seen where they have attacked, Dennis Garden. You understand? Talking about tax evasion. But look at what they have for the taxpayers. They owe 1.5 billion, and they have already received over 10 write-off. And they are the one that come out and speak in regard to the subject matter. So we are just saying to the relevant authorities, the powers that being, TAJ, go and collect that tax. That tax must be collected and must be make mention to the Jamaican taxpayers when it's being collected and what is being collected. Because we can't have people like these still operating based on the fact that they are not in keeping with the tax compliance that we have in Jamaica as it relates to people, paying the tax in regard to the business that they are running. And on top of it, they are receiving millions of dollars from the government. So that's an illegal entity. And I yield back the floor to you, Sir Lord Byron.
All right. Thank you, Melting Pot. And I'm happy that you pointed out, right? They have no moral compass to speak about Dennis Garden as it relates to tax exemption. No moral compass, where they themselves owed the government $1.5 billion Melting Pot. This is just ludicrous, right? And it is just deflection, right? Why they, right, speaking about Dennis Garden and not speaking about UHWI, whole mess up and corruption that link to Christopher Tufton, right? This morning, we are going to again, right, deep dive as it relates to UHWI. So we will be addressing that situation because Jamaica people, let me say this to you. The UHWI situation is getting worse, right? And more serious calamity left to come. It's the opening of the can of worms that is going to just, worm out itself, right? But as I said, a lot more, right, is going to expose. Let us deep dive into that as we speak. Now, Jamaican people, look at this. And this is one of the reasons why, we are here in the space, right, to hold government accountable, right? Let us deep dive into this, my Jamaican people. Now, here it is. What is going on here? I'm getting some hold up with this, some freezing up. Okay, wait. Let me just, okay. All right, I'm getting some freezing up with this. Okay, all right, document just free. All right, now you will not stop me this morning, All right, yeah. Now here it is, my Jamaican people. We are going to take a deep dive into this. There were more worry signs of a long-running culture of improper governance at the University Hospital of the West Indies, UHWI, on Tuesday as Parliament Public Accounts Committee, right, continued, what is going on here, right, continued its examination of a special Auditor General's report into its operation. PAC members were left stunned as the UHWI executive reported that the hospital owes more than $40 billion, right, in taxes and has no formal payment plan in place. I'm getting some problem with in place, right, all while operating on a temporary tax compliance certificate. Now, Jamaican people, this is crazy. Hold on. I get a call from Mrs. Winnie. Let me just stop and take Sister Winnie call. Oh, geez. What happened, Sister Winnie? I don't know how you just got cut off just like that. Call me back, Sister Winnie. Sister Winnie, call me back. This page is, right? This page is giving me some problem. It seems like they don't want me to show it. It just on response, right? But let me just keep out of that, right? No, Sister Winnie, call me back. My bad, my finger just cut you off just like that. All right, let me see if I, right, obviously that page has been locked down, but let me just, you know what, them can't stop us, Remember that we are well prepared when we are talking about the government. So if them believe that them can't stop me a melting pot this morning, they can't, right? So let me just read it right from my phone, right? You know that I like to show the document, but obviously, right, they blocked it out. So let me just clear it, right, because they blocked it out. But let me read it from my phone, right? So here it is, my Jamaican people. There were more worrying signs of long-running culture of improper governance at the University Hospital of the West Indies on Tuesday as Parliament Public Accounts Committee continued its examination of a special Auditor General's report into its operation. The PSC, okay, so Sister Winnie is calling back. All right. Yes, Sister Winnie. Sorry about that, man. My bad.
That's all right. I understand. Mr. Melting Pot, one love. Now, listen to me. The JLP is a bunch of thieves.
Oh, yes.
Worse than the rat that live in a hole. You hear me?
Speak of the things, Sister
Listen to
Winnie.
me. They got to go to prison. Look at all the millions. Look at all the money that they take from the car park. Look at the money that Babsy received in America, and that return and not showing it up in the account. They must come out now and show us the amount of money they collect from charity. Mark Golden boof them. They want to see what we have. Now Mark Golden show them. Come on, do better than this now. See what you can do now. They're not going to show 1 cent. You understand? They're not going to show, sir. Mr. Mistake, listen to me. Did you see what Anwar Rahim said about Mark Golden?
Mm-hmm.
How dare she? That smelly. That's it, because I respect you. I don't want to use the word, you know.
Yes.
That smelly woman, that cokehead. How dare she call Mark Golden a cruff? Huh? Don't forget your husband meet you on a dancing pool. You hear me? And all the young black boy them in Portland know about you. So go ahead. Who is a cruff? You stinking woman. I don't want to use no word on this program, yeah?
All right, Sister Winnie.
Because I will curse you till next year. Come out, you call Mr. Mark Golden Cruff.
Out of order, man.
Look who you look. Well out of order. Huh? She's stupid. You better tell us where you get the money from to go and buy the house in St. Lucia, and where we get the money to buy the house in America for his daughter. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Sister Winnie. Right, thank you. So let us get into this. PAC members were left stunned as UHWI executive reported that the hostel owes more than 40 billion in taxes and has no formal payment plan in place. Jamaica, don't hear that? Jamaica, do you hear that? And remember, you know, Andrew Holness himself had done that as it relates to 3 of Andrew Holness companies. Himself, right, had done that, robbing the country's revenues, report nil tax. Remember this, you know? So this behavior is not strange. So they all are doing what Andrew Holness taught them to do. They all are just carrying out Andrew Holness corruption through every single ministry. This is a crying shame. Fuck no, Jamaica, think about this. Let me just have you thinking about this for a while. $40 billion. You know how many social programs they sabotage? UHWI sabotage, right? Roads cannot fix. Bridge cannot be fixed, right? As a result of all of this, right? And the government is allowing them because he himself is robbing the country's revenues. And here it is, Jamaica, saving his criminal friends from paying revenues, and at the same time, who is he taxing? Ask yourself the question. Ask yourself the question. Who is he taxing? Jamaica, in the entire Caribbean, if people don't know, Jamaica pay the highest tax in the entire Caribbean. And I want you to go and Google search it. I want you to go and Google search it. Jamaicans are paying the highest tax in the Caribbean. And Andrew Holness, who is a multi-billionaire, and his friends them, who are multi-billionaires, right, robbing the country's revenues and pressuring the poor people to pay tax. This is cruel. This is unacceptable. But how long are we to stand and carry the cross? How long shall we bear the cross? This is a fundamental wrong. The Prime Minister involved in this particular corruption, denying the country's revenues, has 3 companies pressuring the system, robbing the country's revenues, report nil tax. And here it is, I can't believe this. I honestly cannot believe this. Right? I'm absolutely stunned. Right? I don't even believe you me. It is just unbelievable in terms of the corruption coming out. Almighty God, man. Look, The PAC members were left stunned. Of course, they have to be stunned, as UHWI executives reported that the hostel owes more than 40 billion in taxes and has no formal payment plan in place. So let me ask a question. What is the responsibility of TAJ? What is the responsibility of TAJ? Is it the situation that Andrew Owens now corrupt you? Hold on, let me just take this call. Because today is serious day, you know. You understand? I am not playing, so let me just, you understand, have other persons tuning. Yes, caller, you're on Mystic Sensation. Please go ahead.
My brother, how are you?
How are you doing, my brother?
Florida, man.
Yes, my brother. Go ahead. Speak. We are hearing you.
Yes. Good day to you. Good day to you, my brothers.
Listen,
man. I have two things I want to say.
Yes.
And I want everyone to understand this. Christopher Tofton is a national security threat to the country of Jamaica.
I endorse that.
He is a national security threat to the country of Jamaica. And I'm calling on the leader of the opposition, Dr. Dawes, the entire PNP organization, and the people of Jamaica to call for Christopher Tofton resignation today. You must call for that man resignation today. Let me give you a couple examples. Of why this man is a threat to the national security of the country. The man has totally destroyed the health system of the country. He has totally ruined the health system of the country. The country system is in a critical stage. The health system is in a critical stage. It's on life support right now in Jamaica, the country health system. Okay? And these are the things that people must understand. And let me start with number one. We have the drill scam. We have the $80 million that he gave to his side chicks. These are all taxpayers' money. Okay? We have the drill scam. We have the $80 million to his side chick. We have now seen where the University of the West Indies, which is a public entity for the region, not for Jamaica, but for the region. It's not owned by Jamaica. It's for the region. Jamaica is entrusted with the operation and the management of the university hospital, not given to them for them to use as their own. Okay, it is also a learning institute for the region. And to see that under Christopher Tofton, my brother, the University of the West Indies is broke. They have to be borrowing to pay their light bill. The university is in $40 billion debt, half of which is interest and penalties that is levied on the institution. Okay, half of that is interest and penalties that is levied on the institution. The University of the West Indies can't pay a light bill. They have been borrowing money to pay the light bill. And you tell me, and all of this under Christopher Tofton leadership, they don't have doctors, they don't have nurses. Under Christopher Tofton, all the doctors and nurses that are qualified have left the country. And the ones that we had from Cuba, he expelled them and ostracized them. And we as people and the people of Jamaica sit by and have this man who's a publicist. He's a publicist sitting there not doing anything for the country healthcare. He doesn't have a clue or a plan. Listen to this, my brother. The country have no dialysis machine, and you have over 126,000 people with severe kidney problem and 40,000 will need critical help. And there's no solution to getting dialysis machine for the people. Report just came out last week. 26,000 people in Jamaica is infected with HIV, and that is only what they have on record. What about the ones that's not been reported right now in the country? And this man, Christopher Tofton, the publicist, has not launched or did anything to create a public information outlet to educate Jamaican people on public health and how to protect themselves and what to do and what not to do and where to get help from. And he's a publicist. He's a professional publicist. Let's not put no doctor in front of this criminal name. We saw in the pandemic, him and Andrew Owens enriched themselves out of the pandemic. Now, Out of Melissa, the man them turn on and go enrich themselves again out of it. This, my brother, is a disgrace to the entire region. And I remember I came on your show and I tell people, don't send them the money, go to Jamaica, get and you go and send them government, you know, because the people will never get it. And so said, so done, my brother. So said, so done. Christopher Tufton must resign as health minister. It is a must. If not, Jamaica people are going to die in huge numbers. The man is a disgrace. Can you imagine? The University of the West Indies is riddled with corruption and scandal and thievery. Not only that, the institution, the hospital, is in a $40 billion debt. With half of that is penalties and interest because they can't pay them debt. Just imagine that, my brother. The institution entrusted to Jamaica to help the Caribbean people is now a cesspool of malfeasance. Just think about that, Jamaicans, for a moment. Think about that for a moment. Your healthcare system is in ruins under Christopher Tufton for the last 10 years. It's not getting better anytime soon. It gets worse every day. Every day there's a new scandal about the health system, and it's more debt and more debt and dead. And it's not getting better because there's no solution being put forward. Can you imagine? The man failed as a publicist. Because even as a publicist, my brother, say you're a professional publicist, at least you can create something to educate and enlighten people about healthcare, how to take care of themselves, what's going on in the country in terms of health, so that people can protect themselves. Not even that the man can come up with, and he's a publicist. Well, yes, he's the minister of health. He's the minister of debt, not health. And Jamaica people, if you don't wake up, you're going dead. You're going dead. Another thing I want to raise, my brother, and let me tell you something. I'm going to say something, and Jamaicans might not like it, I might not get it. As a young man, Mystic, I'm 6'2" now. I was raised in Jamaica. I never know racism or experienced racism until I migrated to the States. I had my first racist encounter when I came here. I never knew of racism or saw racism or experienced it in Jamaica in all my life. Okay? Even when I travel now, I've never seen to experience it. Okay? Until recently in Jamaica. Racism is something that we in Jamaica don't subscribe to. We've always been inherited the prejudice as a group of people. But what I've seen today and experienced today is that the current Jamaica government is a racist government. And let me tell you, racism doesn't have to do with color. It's not black and white. This Jamaica government is a racist government, and I challenge anyone to dispute that with me. Okay? Their policies are geared to marginalize poor people.
Yes, hold on, caller, hold on. Both racist and classist. Put in that, classist, because we see much of that too.
Racist
and classist.
Absolutely, my brother. Everything that point and case, the recent budget read by the Prime Minister was a racist budget. You know why I said it was racist? Because the tax, the largest sales tax in the history of Jamaica was leveled on what? Poor people. We didn't see no corporate tax. We didn't see no exportation tax, importation tax. We didn't see new tax for none of the big boys. None of his clique got tax. There was only a sales tax levied on poor people. That's racist. That's racist. When you marginalize a group of people because they're poor, you don't provide housing for people because they're poor. You don't provide housing for poor people because they're poor. That is racist. This Jamaica Andrew Holness government is a racist government. It's racist against its own people, and that is even worse than white racism. It's worse than white racism, because when your own is racist against you, that is even worse. You have no way out. This man, for the last 10 years, have taken his big size 13-foot with his Clark's booty and planted it on the neck of poor people in Jamaica. And he has not taken it off the neck of poor people. And that is racist. Every single thing that this government do, it is to marginalize the less fortunate in the country. Their entire structure of government is to facilitate those at the top and squeeze those at the bottom. And that is a racist behavior. That is a racist mentality. Look up the word racism and see what it is. Point and case. When you launch the execution of young black men in the country, killing them indiscriminately, that is racist. And this government is a racist government. When it's only our own people that is being sentenced to prison, when I see no Chinese, when I see no Jew, when I see none of them kind of people in the country and go to prison and them commit more crime than the average black man in the country.
Exactly.
Okay?
All right.
None, because they're the only ones who can afford to pay for the crime.
All right, caller.
Okay?
Let me just give you. Hold on, caller.
Brother.
Hold on, caller. Let me just give you a minute to finish up. And yes, I do agree in terms of clear classism being executed in Jamaica as it relates to Andrew Holness, and we have seen several of that. Classism as it relates to the Jamaica Labour Party. So just use the 1 minute and finish up, because we have so much to unravel here.
Yes, my brother, and I'm taking them more time, but I want to highlight these things to the Jamaican people, and these are the things that Jamaicans got to be mindful of and be careful of. And like I'm saying, we need to call, and I hope that all of you guys start calling for the resignation of Christopher Tufton. It can't go on like this no longer. It has to stop. There must be a change, and we're calling on the Prime Minister to relieve Christopher Tufton of his duty from the Ministry of Health. And this is a man, Christopher Tufton, who have aspiration to be the next Prime Minister and leader of the Jamaica Criminal Labour Party. Can't happen. And I'm asking all Labour rights, don't make this man lead on a party. Do not let him lead on a party. Don't do it, because he's a criminal. And he is a threat to the national security of the country. I rest my case, my brother.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to hear from my passionate friend who always call this program, right, and always support his program. But his points are well taken, right, and nothing but the truth of which he speaks. Now, let me just finish up here as it relates to what we are hearing here. It's unbelievable, people, right, as it relates to $40 billion, right, in taxes, and has no formal payment plan, has no formal payment plan. So when you look at the 40 billion, and when you look at Big Mama's, right, 1.5 billion, and when you look at some of the hoteliers, I don't even touch that yet, When you look at some of the hoteliers who have $100 billion, you understand, revenue, not given and not processing as it relates to social programs, and you always make sure. But let me ask a question. I have to ask this question. Andrew, what did Jamaican people do you? Why you hate us so much? I am no one cannot come out and tell me that Andrew Holness no hate way. And hear me now, people. Listen to me, I'm going to say something. And that is one of the reasons why the other day I said to Melting Pot, I am not going to blame my Jamaican brothers and sisters to say that they sold us out in the election. I am not going to blame them. Because, right, they did not really sold us out. The election was stolen. Jamaican people, listen to me. What Andrew Holness administration is carrying out on the Jamaican people is strictly vendetta. It's vengeance. They know very well that the people did not accept them. People, listen to me. I want you to believe, I want you to just understand what I'm saying. When you look and you see Hanover fall, Westmoreland fall, right? And when you look and you see Nikisha Burchell in a strong GLP zone, you understand, trample them. You must know when you look in a East Portland and see Isaac Buchanan overrun. And when you look, the Prime Minister had lost his seat. Come on, Jamaica. And so that we can't twist this thing up. So that I'm not blaming my Jamaican brothers and sisters. No way, I am not blaming them. And so then any argument to say that, okay, all right, we need to this and we need to do that. We had done our best. We had won the election. We had won the general election. Andrew Holness stole the general election. And that is one of the reasons why he's punishing the people. Particularly Westmoreland people, you know. And some serious punishment. Them people they go on there, you know. I want to know if you know that, you know. Because Hanover wipe him out clean. Westmoreland wipe him out clean. So you tell me, Jamaica. You tell me. And I don't want anyone to be saying, right, that Jamaican people, right, sold us out. No, Jamaican people defend us. They do, they did. I have strong evidence, right? Robert thief in Montague, you know in the election. You know you use the police them to take with the box. Robert thief in Montague. Donovan Williams. You know you burn out some of the people them. You know the level of criminality you want to do. And so then now, you force yourself in upon the people them and I punish the people them. Force yourself upon the people them and I punish the people them. On the out hard, on the bright, on the stink. When it's a set of criminals that need to go through the judiciary and process to be sent to prison. But let me tell you something. We are not going to stop. We are not going to stop. And don't believe that what you have gotten away with as it relates to the last election. Only try it again now. We are now in this space. And let me tell you something. I don't care about nobody else. I don't care about nobody else, no other platform. Me to start my campaign from now. Me to start the campaigning. Every day me I come out here campaign, me I tell you that plain. Now hide and talk. Tell me I tell you that me to start the journey now. And anything, any lie I want to tell. Let me tell you something. It's somehow you better prepare for me. Call in for some on the program and challenge you know. You think I'm gonna get away with it this time? You think I'm gonna get away with it this time? Me say me the start from no. Me a melting pot and loan from the pan journey from no. Now give you no chance. Right? Thief in NNN, Dushi and Savadia. You think you can do what you do again and get away with it? Me say we dep on it. We dep on it, and that's why. Let me tell you something, people. We just wait until me reach. You understand the least flat story, you know. You understand? And that's why I make sure, say, I am doing everything in my power. Justice is justice, and we need justice. Right? You think we are going to allow Andrew Holness and Juliet Holness for rob us? You think we are going to allow Darrell Vaz for rob us? Me see you come back and talk up a little mouth, you know. Right? But let me tell you something, Darrell Vaz. You don't know what we over there heading. Eh? Me know, and you know. So 110 buses not there, you know. Me and you know that, you know. 110 buses are not here. Right? And me know you have to take with yourself before the Auditor General report. All this years, you see you come out and I go on like you're brave and I show afraid. Listen to me. You can't fool nobody. You don't go take with yourself. Me, and I ask, you know, people, listen to me. Him, they go take with himself before the report come out, before the Auditor General report come out. And I ask him that, Darrell Vaz, I tell you that, me I bet you that, do that and beat me. Me know say you take with yourself. Now, let me read. Now, the UHWI executive also backtracked and claimed that flooding was responsible for the disappearance of files relating to several millions of dollars in contract. Can you imagine now? Can you imagine now? Don't Jamaica people make it talk now. The people them going to the PAC meeting, you know, and tell lie, you know, to a lie of flood. You understand? Flood water take with the documents. Now them a backtrack. People don't look on it now. Look on the criminality. Right? Now them a backtrack. Right? Because we say we have put on the pressure upon them. Remember the Jamaican people. The very same day when general election was stolen, right? By Andrew Holness and his gang. What did I say? For people who don't follow me, follow Mystic Sensation. No, say Mystic Sensation run out, you know. The following day, you know. And what did I say? I say that Andrew Holness need to hand over the PAC and the PAAC. Right, let me just take this call. Yes, caller, you're on Mystic Sensation Live.
Blessings, Mystic.
Blessings, my brother.
Brother. Me just want to let out that steam.
Let it off. Fast and quick.
Yeah, man. The Andrew Holness, Darrell Vaz, Desmond McKenzie, all of them, every one of them, female and male, in this Jamaica Labour Party. Jamaican people, labor rights and socialists, when you wake up, when you don't see what this administration doing to you. Listen to me, people, when you wake up, Andrew Holness and Tupton, all of them having the police and in the hospital to kill off every Jamaican. We're down this up. And have the Chinese them take over on the country and the Israelis. Notice who the police them go out daily, go beat up, box up and kick down and shoot. Not one Chinese will flood Jamaica. And Israelis now getting a box down and kicked down by police. Jamaican people all on the dance. We saw una dance and gangs. Una idiot. A time for una wake up and turn the gun on the wicked criminal politician them. And stop the fools. Stop killing up on the people, on the brothers and the sisters. I'm tired, I'm sick and tired of these drunkards. And not until the Jamaican people wake up and see what's going on, then trust me, their back is going to be against the wall. Unite and bring down the old nasty dragon pharaohs. I'm warning you, Jamaican people. This is not about who ban labor right and nobody no ban labor right or socialist. When I read that, when I go full out an application and I'm asked what nationality, when I put on it, labor right or socialist? Jamaicans. When I Jamaican first.
Blessings, my brother. Blessings, my brother. You can feel, you know, the man's cry, but you know, we endorse what he's saying as it relates to Jamaican people need to, you understand, get up and go out there and galvanize right against this cruel and wicked government. Now, let us read this. The UHWI executives also backtrack on a claim that flooding was responsible. And I'm asking the callers to just ease off the call a bit, you understand? And then you can call him back after Melting Pot said his piece, because I'm about to hand over the floor to Melting Pot, because we have to have Melting Pot say his piece. So just ease off the call until Melting Pot, you understand, finish his piece. Now, they stumbled as they responded to reports that a private company was able to pay more than 10 million in customs duties on goods imported under its tax-exempt status. It is just criminality after criminality, right? It can't get any worse than this. And Andrew Holness is the head cook buckle washer for all the criminality. And you see, now you can understand the premeditatedness of Andrew Holness, because he knows that he was going to carry out all the level of criminality, and that is one of the reasons why he did not sign the code of conduct. So you can see all the puzzles falling in place. You understand, in terms of what he had done. And now guess what? Statutory declaration cannot be certified. We'll never able to certify it, right? No matter who input over there, them can't help him. Now let me have Melting Pot come in the space. And brother Melting Pot, you understand? Hand down the sledge.
Well, Jamaica have a serious problem, you know. And, you know, it's a long-standing problem. Because this seems to be going on for more than a decade, basically, as it relates to corporate tax not being collected. You understand? Now, a country can't run without tax revenue. Yeah? That is the base of which you know, build your budget around. The fiscal budget. And it can't be that is the poor people alone is coming up with the tax to farm the budget. There are so many institutions, billion-dollar institution in Jamaica, which is non-tax compliance. NNN, Prime Minister, and, you know, several more. See, you know, UHWI fall into that category. We had some used car dealers were, you know, highlighted for such breaches as well. Yeah? And in the case of UHWI, you know, this is not rocket science what is happening up there. Because, I mean, anywhere Christopher Tufton, you know, venture, him cause chaos and corruption as it relates to money. Yeah. Now, UHWI, you know, had its own administration staff. I mean, people that were dedicated to the cause of, you know, making sure that UHWI remain a sustainable entity that can, you know, finance itself based on its earning. And we all know what took place. He went in and him, you know, dismantled the administration staff and set up a new administration staff, which has now fall foul of the law. In terms of all the high-level corruption that amounts to over 40 billion Jamaican dollars. Yeah? And we all know, yeah, as the caller rightfully said, half of that is through, you know, late payment, and that now incur the penalty of service charge and high interest rate on the balance. So it accumulates. So currently, it shows you that they are not, you know, in keeping with the day-to-day smooth running of the UHWI. Now, UHWI should not find itself in that category, you know, of non-tax compliance entity, you know. Because when you look at how much it costs for one surgical operation, it's unbelievable. And it's an institution that always have people, you know, wanting to carry out these operations. So it's not an entity that does not have work coming in. So that entity should be viable, should be sustainable, based on principle of how it's been run. It should have been sustainable, but because it's corruption being put at the head to run the organization, the institution rather, then you find out that we are having this problem. Now, who you have to blame? Christopher Tufton? You have to blame the Prime Minister? You have to blame the people that are supposed to be doing the procurement side of things. So I look at it basically and say, well, Jamaica have a systemic problem where tax compliance is concerned. So it must be a corruption ring. Yeah, and you know have to start focus your attention on the man where run TAJ. Because a firm responsibility can collect all the taxes, you know. Whoever is in charge of TAJ, it all come right back. So you have to come tell me what type of connection you have with Tufton and Andrew. Because only them two men could have stopped you, you know. Because remember, your agency is charged with the responsibility of collecting tax. And I sure know on to pressure the little poor people them. I want to get for them tax. So what is the secret behind the corporate entity? Why the corporate entities are now in a delinquent state? Several of them delinquent. What is happening? And what is the formula in place to collect these tax? As a matter of fact, we shouldn't even have any formula because everybody is operating on an annual tax PAYE system. Pay as you earn. And all these institutions earn. So you pay your percentage as it relates to PAYE. So how comes you end up now with 40 billion and some guy have 1.5 billion plus get 10 right off before? What is going on? All the small people can't get these incentives. Have rights off and can owe so much in money. Why? So there's a corruption ring as it relates to the corporate entity tax. Because Andrew no look on small money, you know, a big money, you know. Andrew like when the money big where them can come in and leave out with a briefcase of money. You understand? So something is fundamentally wrong. And, you know, I can't wait for the administration change. Yeah? 100% in charge. But I must be thankful for the 28 members that we have that include lion and lioness in the parliament. Because if we never have that, you know, we couldn't have the PAC and the PAAC. And these boys would be running riot with the taxpayers' money. I wouldn't have no trace of accountability. Now we are getting traces of accountability that has gone under the corruption scheme where there is no accountability. But all we can see through auditing is a vast amount of discrepancy leading up to several $1 billion outstanding to the tax pool. So, you know, I know the PMP did a wonderful job in the last general election and to increase, you know, its number by 100%. This is the result now. We are in control of the PAC and the PAAC. And that is why we are seeing so much, you know, auditing development. And we are learning of the corruption and how much corruption, you know, has amount to. And we are seeing where people are sitting on billions of dollars. Because even when they talk about UHWI outstanding 40 billion, yeah, without we having the control now of the Public Account Committee, yeah, we would know. And these people would have done a backdoor deal and get away because I know everybody in Jamaica think that UHWI was running smooth and efficient with transparency. We could never believe an institute have so much high-level corruption hidden within it. When you can't hear about flood takeout file from cabinet, that's a blatant corruption and lie. That is a scandal of all scandal. That is the mother of all lies. Oh, you can't have flood come in our institution and just take out a certain section of important file from a cabinet. Unbelievable. So you see Tough Tongue, you notice him gone on the little radar from there. Him need to be investigated and charged and put into prison for a mighty long time. The amount of billions of Jamaican dollars where this guy flees through the Ministry of Health is unbelievable. And we are saying that enough is enough. So, you know, I just want the PSC committee continue to work and work assiduously and, you know, push out the finding and let's pursue these people for the wrongs that they have done. And I yield back the floor to you, Sir Lord Byron.
Wonderful stated, Melting Pot. Right, love how you punch that, right, hitting the nail on the head. But let us dwell, because today is extreme fire. Now let us get into the next document here and we break that down as usual, right? Now, let us look at this. Let us look at this, my people. Let us share this document and let us close that. All right. Melting Pot, are you seeing the document?
Yes, it's up on the screen.
Okay, blessings. Okay, let us get into this. And this is what we asking for. The last time that Mystic Sensation was here, right? My wife spoke of this. My wife said, what happened to the previous CEO? Right? It seems like they have heard my wife question. But now here it is. UHWI CEO Michelle and Farmer. Oh, let me Sister Pat is calling. Let me just take Sister Pat call and then we proceed on that. All right. Yes, Sister Pat, how are you doing? What's up?
Good evening to everybody. Mystic, Melting Pot, and the whole entire crew. Big up on yourself.
All right.
Well, from when they get me out on the road, I do the hustling, so they kind of have me away.
Yes.
All right, I know. Me are watching them, me not call him, but me are watching them. Don't miss me.
Yes, man. We love the same way, man.
Yeah, me have some fire for blazing.
Blazing, sister.
Anne-Marie Val say, you not in a no shape now for him talk to Mark Jeffries Goldie. So when you can talk about Cruff, looking at a mirror, anything you see in a mirror that I Cruff. Mark Golding married to an angel, a lady. Mark Golding married for 30 years with a nice black woman with dignity, character. You hear? Don't tell if I know Mark Golding first touch that they meet there. And I him alone touch that they meet. You understand? Mark Golding and his wife no have nothing in closet. No skeleton no in there.
But hold on the sister part. Hold on the sister part. Hold on the sister part. I want to ask Anne-Marie Dunsett Vaz something. Right? As it relates, can you put yourself in Marky G's shoes or Mrs. Golding's shoes? Right? Mrs. Golding has gone through the university, right? Mark Golding has gone through university. They did not went there, right? And come out dry. You and Marie Vaz, you swim into a pool of water and come out dry. You swam into a pool of water and came out dry. You went to university, right? And did not pass one course. So how you want to sit in our parliament and come and rank your nasty self? You're out there and bright. How you want to sit in our parliament and you can't pass a course in university? Talk to us about that. And you want to size up with Isaac Buchanan, who had gone through university, right? Pass his law degree, right? And challenge courts at Privy Council. And you want to size up your dumb self. When you were in parliament, did you help to debate on any legislation? Look on you too. Look on your dunce. Look on you too. You understand? You are so out of your, you're so out of your wit. So out of your rank, your fierce, you're bright. Trust me. So you need to understand that Mark Golding did not swim into a pool of water and come out dry. Neither Mrs. Golding. Out there and bright. You went to university, right? And all the money that your parents spent on you, you couldn't come out with a course. What is a stinking out of order? Yes, go ahead, Sister P.
I want to tell Anne-Marie, how you say your name? You ever seen a little boy wind up on Sandra Golding and a feel of Sandra Golding?
That can't happen.
A one man feel of Sandra Golding. One number man. Girl. Right? Sandra Golding a lady. Sandra Golding a real woman with dignity. Sandra Golding no married to no man where people are called thief. Right? Sandra Golding married to no man where people are called all type of dirty name.
Killer.
Not even nothing from Jamaican people. Never, ever. Mark Golding live an upstand life, a decent life for him a picnic until him a big man. So Anne-Marie Golding, Anne-Marie, where your name? Know your dirty self. Looking at your closet. Look at your husband track record. Look what nastiness in name attached to. And in a Jamaican terms, if you not gossip, in here, gossip. Right? Know yourself, but you Andrew Wallace, Prime Minister, and you pick them up and make them come so bright and bright up with people. But let me tell you something. If you don't look what happened at White House, it'll go catch you. You understand? So I just got on time. You think Sandra going in the parliament? Your husband done in India already. You have no time for that. She have other things to do. And as Sandra Golding, let me tell you if you don't know. As Sandra Golding cooking your husband dinner. Sandra Golding cook her husband dinner. You understand? So she have time for her husband. She and her husband live good. Them have them grand picnic and them picnic and them live a good, outstanding life. So next time, you never see in front of me. You want them what me I gonna tell you. When me done class, you wind up. How will your husband meet you? Where your husband meet you, girl? Ask Mrs. Golding, this part Mark Golding meet her. Mark Golding walks until him booty lean. You understand? And like we are drink rum. And everybody can jump up on you and feel you. Careless girl. Dirty girl. You understand? We don't know nothing. People, Andrew will take no put in a parliament and mash up the parliament. Desecrate it. We don't sell crashes, we don't do everything that is bad. We go. But no time are coming up. No time are go. And the next thing, moving on, I want to say a big congratulations to Dr. Hunter. But Dr. Hunter, you is no fool. Open your eye. Not trust nobody because they take you back now. Or you win you back now when the university in a crisis. No drink no water from them. No watch your seat where you sit down. Walk with your seat pad. Be extra careful. Be extra careful. Me I warn you. Right? Me I beg you, sir. Because wicked play in high places. Right? Me I beg you. Don't take these people for no funny because we know why you sleepwalk. You understand? Remember, no because you're a doctor. Careful about them because they don't like you. Be extra careful. Any patient with them a work pan, you are no doctor no work pan them. If you want to work pan them, no go there. They go draw a bad knife and say, you careful. Right. Any patient with them a treat, you allow them make them treat it. Then go give them bad medicine and say, you if you mash you up further. And Mr. Andrew Wallace, our Prime Minister, sir, with all due respect, with the damning report about Donovan Williams, you need to do something about it. You know, ball for Mark Golding and say for sure how the money spent, the money they want to collect. The Jamaican people deserve to see how the money spent. Mr. Andrew Wallace, fellow Jamaican them still under tapali. Gracious God, where your heart there?
But this government is
Babsy Grange 400,000 euros where you collect up a Rick's Cafe or Rock Cafe or Florida. What you do with the people are suffer and your vase are going to tell you about lockdown. Well, lockdown, your wife, you know what? And yourself. It's not going to work. You know, push people by edge now. When Mark Golding asks you and say, we're not putting in the measures because at a time I got the war in the Middle East. Paper William come out and say the oil was $62 So we have it covered because you know now think now the island $100. First thing, we no mash up. If any say that thing and I buy dear I will try find island, I understand say $1 billion auto to petro job because I'm afraid I'm only. We want back with money. And we the ladies, woman, we don't want a man there. We are gonna come out for no wicked because we don't love murder man. So now if we gonna start murder with the woman now. Every woman who lose them fitness on where the police shoot and this and that. All woman, let us organize and come out. No man we don't want no man there. Woman alone, woman. Let us go there because if you know impact we directly, indirectly, somewhere step and far. Let us go that time for we go to the road now. Enough is just enough. You can't call Mark Golden Cruff. You know, the girl know what is Cruff. Anyway, he's back, you know,
blessings. Blessings, Sister P. All right.
Yeah.
And now imagine, you understand, she come and call the decent, upright citizen Cruff. Eh? Is Mark Golden under any scrutiny by the Integrity Commission investigators? Eh? Did Mark Golden venture into in any Ponzi scheme? I want really take them people here. But anyway, you know, enough of them. Now, UHWI people, this is bangarang, you know. This is bangarang. To the fact that we are calling these people, right, who involved in the real criminality under the question as it relates to PAC people, we are going to get some bombshell report when them under the question, you know. Let me just take another call. Yes, caller, Mystic Sensation, go ahead. Yes, caller, you're on Mystic Sensation. Go ahead, please.
Hi, Mystic.
Hi, how you doing, my friend?
My 2 cents.
Yes, man,
and
speak.
you guys calling Mark Golden a prof, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mark Golden have ambition. She don't have none because you know what? She is a hand-me-down, a second-hand woman.
Exactly. Hand-me-down.
She cannot call Mark Golden a prof. Furthermore, again, Mark Golden's mother is a white woman. And Mark Golden's father is a white woman. And Mark Golden is white. She don't know where she get her white color from. So she needs to go ask her mother if her mother did hang out at Kaiser Port down in a St. Elizabeth. Okay? All right. Let her go to hell.
Okay. All right. All right. She talk our piece. You understand? We tell us a Mystic Sensation, right? People are going to vent over here, you know, and we have to give them space to vent, right? Because we don't mince word over on this channel, you know, right? And I mean, for people who want to put up them thing and so forth, because, you know, their professional status and so forth and so forth and so forth. You understand? Over here, so we get it raw. We give it raw. And of course, they deserve to get it raw because they're a criminal. I mean, hi, they are criminals. Now, UHWI CEO Michelle and former chairman Chai Chong among 3 to be summoned before PAC. Yeah, man, I want to wait upon. I want to wait upon. I want to hide like I Dunstan Bryan. After Dunstan Bryan rub up the Ministry of Health. I don't know why I don't know, better come in at this. Come answer some question. Now, University Hospital of the West Indies, CEO Fitzgerald Michel and former CEO Kevin Allen and ex-board chairman Wayne Chai Chung are to be summoned to a meeting of Parliament's Public Accounts Committee quick and fast on European. The committee approved Chairman Julian Robinson request on Tuesday. The PAC is reviewing an Auditor General's Department report that identified a series of procurement breaches at the region's premier teaching hospital. We want to come answer the buyback to, you know. What a banger around people. What a bang. Come explain the exorbitant buyback, you understand, after UHWI, you understand, give a criminal friend tax exempt write-off, and plus go buy back all at 10 times. Come explain it quick and fast. Come, we are waiting for you. The report made no adverse findings against the officials. Go see when the question reach them. UHI officials, led by acting CEO Eric Ozen and Health Ministry Permanent Secretary Errol Green. Nobody mix up Green in this. We can't, hold on. Listen me. Listen me. Don't fool the Jamaican people. Where Errol Green go? When was it that Errol Green being employed? Dunstan Bryan is who need to call. Nobody hide Dunstan Bryan. Errol Green don't know shit. Errol Green cannot explain, you understand, the procurement issue as it relates to what Dunstan Bryan had done. What Dunstan Bryan? No, me stop. Hey, no. Let me get serious right as so. Right as so in the mash up. Where is Dunstan Bryan? But Dunstan Bryan? Eh? Green doesn't know anything and cannot explain anything from 2017 up to 2023 when Dunstan Bryan take himself. So why Green do ya so? What Green do ya so? It is Dunstan Bryan. So Dunstan Bryan was involved in the criminality, hiding and a push up Green. No, Green can't come here, so. What Green of come here, so? Me I tell you no Jamaica. Remember, Green in the meeting, the big old rusty face man they want to see. They understand side of this current CEO, agreeing that him name Errol Green. And so hold on. Questions and issues from 2017 to 2023. How Errol Green is going to answer that? He wasn't there. He was the permanent secretary. Dunstan Bryan, pull out Dunstan Bryan. Because Dunstan Bryan thief up all of the money. I can talk about the thing them people. Hey, Dunstan Bryan stole all the money. Over $800 billion. When Dunstan Bryan there, at Dunstan Bryan to come at this meeting, yeah. And remember, tell lie that Dunstan Bryan gone for study leave. Me take me 2 eye and see Dunstan Bryan and Andrew Owens in Jamaica. Me took my 2 eyes. Dunstan Bryan is still in Jamaica. So then why Dunstan Bryan not appear? People don't look on this. What is going on here? What is going on here? May I call it out? Let me call it out. Dunstan Bryan needs to go in front of the Parliament committee. Where is Dunstan Bryan? The man who involved in the thieving, who don't hide him. What Errol Green know? What Errol Green know? Dunstan Bryan need to face the Parliamentary Ethics Committee. Now, let me move on. Following the report's publication, the Hostel said CEO Michelle was on 3 months leave to facilitate independent investigations. Michelle, a former senior director of operations at UHWI, was appointed CEO in 2024 after acting in the role for 2 years. Right? So the truth be told, you understand, Michelle can't answer certain questions before 2024. Right? And should never, right, going through this to answer situation prior, you understand, to his taking over. Now, Astal's statement at the time said he had been with the institution for more than 27 years. Michelle replaced Kevin Allen, a former senior director of finance, who was first appointed to act as CEO right in 2015. Chai Chung was appointed chairman in November 2022, but resigned in December 2023. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton later dissolved the board and appointed businessman Patrick Hilton as chairman. The University of West Indies also appointed members to the board. Now, if you don't want transparency and balance, right? Summons the people, right, as it relates to where the bulk of money missing from the Ministry of Health. When was Green became permanent secretary? When was it? 2024. So then you tell me now, can Green answer questions? Do you party free? What happened as it relates to from 2016 going up to 2024? Well, talk to me now, people. Talk to me and tell me if it makes sense. It is Dunstan Brown who's supposed to come. It is Dunstan Brown who's supposed to come. So all of this is bullshit. Where is Dunstan Brown? Dunstan Brown has been there from 2017, go straight up to 2023 when he took himself and run when the Auditor General asked him to present certain document and he cannot presented it. We were told lies that people died and people this and people that. He is the one who's supposed to appear. Come on, man. Yo, don't put any words over the people's eye. This is bullshit. So I'm asking the opposition leader, Mark Golden. I am asking, right, the persons who are leading the PAC to summon the appropriate persons who need to answer the questions as it relates to procurement and where the bulk of money missing. Green doesn't know shit. Come on. Do better than that. Do better than that. It is common sense. If I was not working at a place and thievery happened as it relates to a particular time frame, window time frame, why am I going to answer for that particular time frame? Right? When that was not under my leadership. Does this make sense? Does this, hey, I want to take the Jamaican people for done, you know? I want to really take the Jamaican people. This is bullshit, you know? Now that we have a better understanding in going through this. Where are we even speaking to these people? We don't stand Brian there. Where is Dunstan Brian? Jamaica, listen to me. PSC, listen to me. I've Dunstan Brian. Bring forward Dunstan Brian. Anywhere they find him, summon him. This is bullshit. Let me take away this document for away here. This is bullshit. Absolutely bullshit. This is absolutely bullshit. You tell me what Errol Green is going to answer. What Green is going to answer. I am an investigator. I am an investigator. Why am I going to ask Green to speak of issues from 2017 goes up to 2024? What time did Green employ? What time did Green employ? Come on, no do better than that, man. Don't let me get upset. Don't let me get upset. And talk the things a moment of talking. Don't let me get upset. Anyway, Dunstan Brian is, find him. He's the culprit. I am so upset with this. So damn upset. What say you, brother Melting Pot?
Well, we have some people that play 3 cards, you know. That me I say right, you know. We have some people within this Jamaica Labour Party hierarchy. We have played some trick card in our society. There is no way them can summon yet Mitchell or Green to none of this. You have to go back for Kevin Allen and Dunstan Bryan. And them individual there, you have to all in front of the PAC committee. What can Mitchell supply them with? Mitchell's been in the job 2 years now, 1 year plus from 2024. Green replaced Dunstan Bryan in a 2023. Dunstan Bryan only post from 2017 to 2023. That are the man you have to find the finger upon.
You tell me.
And in the case of Kevin Allen from 2015 to 2024, at them man there, you have to all in front of the PSC committee. But you remember when Dunstan Bryan leave the scene, them get a little fictitious, you know, reason why I'm leave. Them same go up and study leave, you know. You remember?
Exactly.
Study leave, you know.
He's in Jamaica. I saw him. He's in Jamaica.
Hey, that's why I tell you them I play 3 card. This administration lie till it look bad. You understand? And it's only one reason why them are lying, you know. Because of them pull up the corruption. Them know say them carry out a high level of corruption within the various administration them. You understand? So when I'm coming now, I slow them want to slow down the process, man. Because them 2 people have nothing to answer to, you know. No. Mitchell, yeah, and Green no have nothing to answer to. And I mean, the people them who are in charge of carrying out the, you know, investigation must be aware of who they want to speak to and must make demand that they speak to these individuals. Yeah, because remember, you know, another one run where I escape the place and things them safe, you know. Yeah, former Minister of Finance, you know, Ligel Clark, you know. Him have some of them same type of, you know, committee of affairs, you know. Because I'm going with that bag of things, you know, people. Whole heap of money him gone with, you know. And tell lie, you know, so him spend it up a Marvel, you know, on a park, you know. And I show, you know, aerial view when nothing no go on up there. So you know them a criminal. So when we are look on you now, yeah, and some banger around go on, and me I tell you say it's like the PAC, you know, in the hands of the People's National Party, it wake up some handsness. Them are run like mad ants all over the place right now. Cause now at the real time, you know, if you start expose them, you know, investigate and expose them and charge them and prison them, you know. Cause them have serious high level corruption of theft. And I mean, when you're talking about institution that is there to teach and save life, and it's an institution that does not only facilitate Jamaica, you know, it facilitates the entire region. Yeah. And I mean, you can't have Jamaica now and tarnish the University of the West Indies based on who is running it and the man them take the institution and I milk it like a cash cow. You know, so them people are a destruction, man. Them people are destructive element in a society, you know, and a whole lot of civil society people involved with them, you know. It's not just the government alone. The government have civil society people who are being, you know, drawn into these type of high-level corruption to facilitate the government with the course of action that the government pursue, which is the taxpayers' money. This is why these guys, just the other day, the man on a body in Jamaica, yeah? The Andrew Holness-led administration were not any individual have any great stature when it comes to wealth. All of them are millionaire and billionaire now. Yeah? All of them are millionaire and billionaire at the expense of the country. And so, The wealth that these individuals are showing is the wealth of Jamaica. They have taken the wealth from the country and utilize it for their own individual purpose and leave the country in a sorrow state. Sorrow state where other Melissa and the government and the Prime Minister and the Crime Minister and was on his job, sitting down wondering, waiting on, external help. He couldn't use nothing in Jamaica can broke the country. You hear him talk about them have net reserve. Them never have no net reserve because the net reserve was not, geared for that type of, program, The net reserve is what's supposed to run the country. You have to have a net reserve to run your country. So him couldn't go in at the net reserve and take no outside to build the country. Because the net reserve is not designed to build, it's designed to run the country. You must have 12 weeks worth of resource. Yeah? So we know, so the man them drain the country. And we know who are the criminals them in the country. Yeah? We know the tough tongue. We know the holiness them. Yeah? We know the vase them. Yeah? We know the lollipop jar, Edmund Bartlett, him in at it too. Yeah? You know the flight green them. Because remember I'm going with 870 million from RADA, Flight green, Mr. Shower labor right now talk about, Mr. Breaking Protocol and No Movement Day. In me talk about Mr. Fertilizer. Them gone with a vast amount of money. Then you have James Robertson over St. Thomas. Where him crucify all farmers in the country. Because him have Class A importation license for agricultural green produce. What can go so? Jamaican people know this is a criminal administration on have. Eh? And as the caller rightfully said, him have carry out racism and classism amongst the Jamaican people. Because we have never seen a Chinese, an Asian descendant from Indian, or an Israelite from Israel being handcuffed, box, kicked, or treated in any humane way. No, it's only the black people. I remember all of these people come to Jamaica and them don't come to sit down and watch the sunset and the sunrise. Them come to work and them have jobs. But our people don't have any jobs. Our people are being put to the slaughter every day like a lamb to a slaughter. Like you put them in the abattoirs. You understand? And slaughter them. That will see a go on, And Jamaica people are going like say the oldest them are somebody if you recognize and look up to. Them are shit. Them is a pile of garbage like where you see them in Riverton City. Them stinker than pumping station without a 2 mile. You understand? Because of be a corruption them carry out, I remember they use all various type of people within society to encompass them to form a shield around them. The church is one. Yeah, them use them. Them use the judicial system. Them use the police. Them use the soldier. Them use people from within civil society. Them have the PSOJ protect them. Them have every element around them. Yeah? Because they are what? Criminals. Criminal walk with entourage, Yeah? And this is who the holiness them and them administration are. They are criminals. You understand? So the fact of the matter that now that we have the PAC within the responsibility of the People's National Party, which was wrongfully taken away from them over the years, yeah? Now we are seeing new developments. So we want Dunstan Bryan to bring in front of the committee, yeah? And we want Kevin Allen as well. You understand? We don't want Mitchell nor Green. These people cannot be shielded. And the reason why the government has shielded them, is simply because the government knows that them are the perpetrator. They are the one who facilitate all the government course of action. Because remember, government at the head of involved in all the corruption. Me I tell my people them this. Because if me have my business place, and me employ, as a senior staff to run this department within my complex. Remember, I have to come with the auditing, you know. And if me find some my department is not in keeping with the numbers, remember you who is in charge of the department, you have to answer to that, you know. The only way you know answer to that, me and you have to have an agreement. And the reason why you see these places have amassed these amount in deficit as it relates to tax that is uncollected, that should be paid over. It's because there is an agreement between who is running it and the government, the minister involved as well, the administrative staff, yeah. And you also have to look at, you know, the permanent secretary them, who's supposed to go in and carry out the procurement guideline. You understand? You have to also involve the cabinet secretary. You understand? Just well, all of them, you know, contrive to what you see is happening in Jamaica. All of them. This is why Ajoswell was put in at the position where she is. Yeah. That's why you see Andrew come out and, you know, boast about the type of game him play. Him not play draft, him play chess. Yeah. It's a guy with life, you know, come out and say the things where it's right. But saying it in a way that him try to use a reverse psychology style. But that's the truth, if I say, yeah, him know where him a go out than the country people. Yeah, but and there's a reason why him take Jamaican for idiot. Him never know you have people like me and Melting Pot and Lonesome and Rattigan to start looking to the pattern of how him around the country and expose him. He may have a free reign, you know. Yes. I just in the last 5 years him come under increasing pressure. And him still cannot desist from what he's doing, even though we have exposed him. Because he think that he's such a dominant force in the society of Jamaica. Because him utilize a dictatorship format, you know. Remember the man radicalized the place, you know, in a way, you know, where all the security members them merge, you know, soldier and police now go up an operation, giant military operation. You know, like we have the soldier them one side and the police them utilize the space because of them in charge of civilian. Now the man bring out the army. Because when I show you say that dictatorship him have in place and there's nothing we can do about it because he's a bad man what government. Yeah, so this is why we have all of these variances, you know. That amount up to right now when you combine all of them, over $1 trillion the corporate entity them owe in a tax. We can't tell anybody that. Them owe over $1 trillion. Yeah. So we have to look on it and ask them. It can't be that it's just a small average farmer. The people this is why you see me all I tell motorists say you have to have green plate to carry a pumpkin and 2 pop chow and your tool and your spray pan. Because I'm have to look the money from elsewhere. Because I'm already take everything. Everything this guy take. This guy be go under some serious auditing, man. I remember, you know, if me audit this guy, I'm and his wife, you know. When me done with them can't see back the day light, you know. Them have to in a look 3 by 3. You understand? I prison them to go for the rest of them life. Remember them people that destroyed several thousand Jamaican life within the space of time them come in our administration, our politics. Who them not kill, them suffer them. You understand? Destroy people life, you know. Remember, you know, when you go work your money, you know, and go home, you know, and you have a motorist and police stop you and charge you and give you 1 ticket for 10,000. You know how much that take out of your wages? You look at wages like you have nothing already. Some people are get all 3 tickets in 1 month, you know. So Andrew just had recycle the money in Jamaica. By if he means a corruption, him have to recycle the money. Because remember him now, him not have not generate capital gain from outside of Jamaica, you know. Because we no export. We run the country on a service debt commission. Yeah. Just where you get off a hotel and airport tax and all them things. And the man draw down the whole of the airport tax already. The man draw that down from the 2 airport. The Norman Manley and the Sangsas. And what him do with them money there? What him do with them? So there's a whole lead investigation I have to carry out. But we want the right people in front of the committee. The people who you can ask question and expect to get relevant answer. You can't ask people question who don't have a clue. Yeah, because what you going to do? You're going to start audit from 2024 and from 2023. Now this thing go further than that, way back in time. So you have to go for them people there. And I yield back the floor to you, Sir Lord Byron.
All right, blessing on that, melting pot. All right, we are going to jog along in getting to some very serious situation as it relates to Andrew Holness administration and policies, right? Using bureaucracy, right, to sabotage poor people who are suffering as it relates to Hurricane Melissa. And Jamaica, we need to be aware in terms of Andrew Holness methodology of evil that he's using to suppress the poor. And he's doing it, Jamaica, let me say this, as a result to the fact that he knows very much that the Jamaican people did not support him. This is punishment that the Jamaican people are going through as a result of them voting out the Jamaica Labour Party government. Now look at this, Jamaica Labour. Look at this, my Jamaican people. Let me share this. Now let us get into what Angela Brownberg is saying to us, and people need to listen keenly.
My colleagues have spoken passionately about the challenges they face. One of the thoughts going through my head as I listened is that we need a government that ensures that there is a plan so that elected members of parliament don't have to rely on a hope and a prayer. 6 months after Hurricane Melissa devastated communities in Western Jamaica, there are just too many families who remain stranded in the ruins, not just of their homes, but of a recovery system that has failed them miserably. Today, all of us you see here, we're standing with those affected communities, urging immediate government action on systemic shortcomings, recovery gaps, and the urgent need for transparency. The official reports indicate that over 25,000 homes were damaged and 15,000 families displaced. The Ministry of Labor, through their roofs program, and in terms of what they're doing, the failure that we're seeing is therefore simply unacceptable. What is clear is that the processing grants on the roofs has faltered badly. The majority of affected families, as you would have heard, are unaware of their status and actually have no reliable system like a dedicated hotline or an online portal to ask questions or get updates. And so the request, the ask that there is a system that allows individuals to actually come forward if they have not been assessed is one that is real. But first, they also have to know they have not been assessed, because the minister assured me that they don't have to be there on the ground to be assessed. And therefore, if individuals came into the community, I am going to assess if I live in that community. I am going to believe that I have been counted. If there's no way to determine who has been counted and who have not been counted, then it means that there's a big gap that should rest on the conscience of a government that has been elected to take care of its people.
All right. Well said, Angela Brownberg. Really appreciate that. But let me just go a little bit further. Now, to the fact that, right, many people had been suffered, damaged, suffered loss, total loss in some cases, right, as it relates to the various categories that they used. The government, Jamaican people, listen to me. During the government's assessment, the government must ensure that all necessary people who needs to be assessed ought to have that assessment. The government need to ensure that. It is government responsibility as a result of what transpired. But what Andrew Holness had done is to utilize bureaucracy, right, in his policy position to marginalize these people intentionally and decisively, making it with more obstacles for these people, right? Utilizing policies and taking advantage of their unawareness. Now, it is clear that the Andrew Holness-led administration is carrying out a vendetta, particularly in the area of concern. And what are the areas of concern? Westmoreland, Hanover. These are people who are suffering. But when you look at it, it is the Westmoreland and the Hanover people who are totally wipe out the Jamaica Labour Party, vote them out totally. And so they have to suffer the consequence as a result of that. Now, let us just a little further, right? And let me show you something. This is no joke, Jamaica. This is no joke. This is very serious, right? Now, look at this, Jamaica. Look at this.
When you lose Westmoreland and Hanover, you know, busy with nothing. That thing, the people that will lose their house, if Old Harbour go up in response, sorry. Nowhere Westmoreland in come down here, and don't do a thing. Look on the road them. Nothing are done to the road them, all about whole island. Nothing are done to the road them. And the MP they don't have no funds to do it. They have to come from him. So why distribute the funds them and let the road go on?
He says the badly damaged roads pose a threat to taxi and business operators and other motorists. Community members feel forgotten.
They vehicle will fix today, tomorrow it pop down again. One road at Westmoreland. In the certain parish road, but Westmoreland, from White House to Negril, from Hartford to Wiccan, and the surrounding area from Sablama to Grangeville, no road.
The residents used old furniture, appliances, tree trunks, and other large items to block several sections of the roadway, but the blockage was swiftly cleared by police officers. However, they hope their short-lived effort will reap some positive results.
The Prime Minister don't visit about Westmoreland, but then look at Westmoreland and Hanover.
All right, so let us stop share that, right? And as I said, my Jamaican people, as it relates to the concern that we have heard, not Mystic Sensation is saying it, not Melting Pot is saying it, but majority of the people in Westmoreland and the majority of the people in Hanover, they are saying that they are undergoing extreme burden, extreme pressure to the fact that they vote against the Jamaica Labour Party. And it is clear, as it relates to what Rosie had revealed to us, what Rosie came out and said. Rosie said that Donovan Williams, right, is taking out, right, the aid and give it, right, to friends and companies. This did not come from us. It come from a stalwart in the Jamaica Labour Party. So I am showing you the pattern, right, the red flags, as it relates to why Jamaican people are suffering this hard. Now, the Prime Minister, let us speak truth to power. The Prime Minister knew very well that giving members of Parliament, as it relates to per constituency, $10 million, he knows that it is a joke. He knows that that is not even a drop in the bucket. If you drop that into the bucket, you can't see it. He knows he can't do anything. Let me tell you why the Prime Minister knows that. The Prime Minister had drawn down $11.4 billion yearly from NHT. If the Prime Minister wanted to help those people, at least the Prime Minister can say, okay, let us divert that. right? Now the Prime Minister, as it relates to what Mark Golden had done to show your transparency and balance, as it relates to the amount of assistance that Mark Golden and the People's National Party collected, you understand? Now that Mark Golden had done as it relates to putting it on a particular website where people can go on there and see the breakdown of the collection, GLP cannot do that. They are suppressing the poor. They are ill-treating the ones who voted for PNP. The policy position served to marginalize these people. The discrimination that going on there, right? Jamaica people, trust me, we are not making up these things. And that's why we have the evidence coming out of these areas, complaining, you understand, of the sabotage, the political sabotage that they are getting. They are politically ambushed as a result of the decision, the choice that they made on September 3, general election. It is gross. It is despicable. It is cruel. It is wicked. It is vicious. It is indeed Satanism. Andrew Wallace, go to the Parliament and smile and say it is lie. It is rumor. But simultaneously, he's executing the policies that rigged with bureaucracy to marginalize these people because they voted for PNP. This is viciousness. This is cruelty. Now, my Jamaican people, let us show you another bureaucracy being executed to marginalize people from getting benefit. Look where I am going. Look at this, people, and you are going to see the evidence in which Mystic Sensation is presenting. Look at this. Let me show you, Jamaican people. We are not hiding it. People are suffering because of their choice, because they voted for PNP. Look at this.
Somebody need to talk Andrew McKay, see what they go on up a blood clot, you say no. Because I don't know how much day we there, so. How much day we there, so. 3 or 4 days, 5 days, 1 month we there, so. And the people, them just a jar down the shutter every minute. And people have no money, not even 10. Somebody not get no money from morning. Somebody need to talk Andrew and know where we know what they go on. Because them get the money and they not pay all the fucking money. Okay, so the block out just there now. Every second the shutter locked down. Look at the people out there now. Look at the people out there now. Nobody can get them bombarded money. 3 days, 4 days, 1 week, 1 month. To what? Why we are coming to stand up so long? And you need to come deal with the matter here, you know, man. You don't need to take a business and my people because they not do no business, man. They not do no waste time.
Now you tell me, Jamaica. Let us speak about this to all my brothers and sisters. Right? You tell me, Jamaica. Right? The policy implementation, the GLP policy position that marginalizing these people, suffering these people. Let me talk to you, Andrew Owners. These people are suffering. Some of them lost their homes totally. Their lives had spun around 180 degrees. From middle class, pushed beyond the poverty. And what you are doing? What are you doing? Adding pressure to their burden. You are ensuring that they feel the suffering, every sting of the suffering. You are like a scorpion hitting their wounds in 3 different places. They can't take it anymore. You push them to the brink. You're breaking them. It was the very same method used to enslave our people. Make them hungry. Make them hungry so you can use them. So now they are fighting, actually fighting for bread and for them to get a meal. They becomes natural enemy against their brothers and sisters. This is what you are doing to them, Andrew Holness. It is clear to see. It is clear to see. Oh, let me stop and take this call. My heart is bleeding. Yes, caller, you're on Mystic Sensation Live. Go ahead. Yeah, turn off the device in the background, my people.
Yeah. Let me turn off this thing here, man. Mystic.
Yes, my brother.
First time call. I just want to,
thank you very much.
Listen to you and you're saying the right thing. But we are not doing the right thing, man. You see what they are doing to us. They call it strategy. We call it, they are giving us a hard time. They're not giving us nothing, but it's strategy for them.
Yes.
So if you notice what happened to the Democrat and the Republican, and what happened to the PNP and the GLP, it's the same thing. Donald Trump put all of the Iceman in the Democratic area and beat up all of the Democrats them.
Crony capitalism, my brother. Crony capitalism.
And you were just doing the same thing. So Andy Holness is really following the footsteps of what Trump is doing. Everything Trump do, he do it also. Now we want to say one thing from the Bible is that faith without work is dead. So we need to start putting the work. You said the right thing when we want to start campaign from now. The campaign could start from now in terms of doing things. And I think America and Jamaica is the same thing in the Democrat and the Republican, the PNP and the GLP. There can be no third party. No third party can never come through. I see Ross Perot in America have money, more bank. He has so much money. I still couldn't manage to win a seat. So Jamaica will never have a third party and America will never have a third party. So Marvin is a very good strategist. So I think Marvin should join with the PNP and put his strategy inside and try to win the way there. He probably can't, get a good position or something in that party. But a third party won't make it. Again, I think the voter registration again need to clean up.
Yes.
Each MP and each person who looking after a constituency from now should start clean up the voter registration, because you'll have a lot of people who. One thing I noticed is that before the election, I hear the leader, the CEO of the EOJ saying that they have 120,000 ID which nobody collected. No, do he still have those ID?
And remember, we have a lot of dead people on the list that still need to be cleared.
Need to be clear, because these ID probably gone out too, and people voting in the dead people name. So people have to do the work. The MPs and the people taking care of the division must do the work. Get the voter registration, go through one by one, and figure out who dead and who not dead. We see Julia Coolness in the cemetery. We believe that what she's doing there. She probably pick up dead people name.
Collecting the names of people. No, there's no probably there. There's no probably there. You understand? She was collecting the names of dead people. That was exactly what she was doing.
Again, if you look at the amount of when I put it back to America again and Jamaica again, in America here, you have more Democrat than Republican register, much more. But if you look at the presidencies, it's like even amount of Democrat and even amount of Republican win, simply because the Democrat don't have no strategy, man. They only wait on people to vote. While the Republican, they use their strategies and find way to win the election. Go to Jamaica again, same thing. You have much more PNP in Jamaica, much more. But if you look at the prime ministership, who win prime minister, it even again. Because the same thing, the PNP is waiting on the people to vote. They're not doing no footwork. While the Democrat, while the JLP, they have a strategy. They put the money out there. They pay people to vote. They find the weak link. They find the PNP who will look away.
Yes.
So the PNP need to start from now to find good people who not going to look away, to put in as indoor agents. But they need to do the work from now. I mean, you have the right thing to say, let's start campaign.
Exactly.
But if you don't do the work, man, you're not going to win again because they have the money.
Exactly.
I like this gas thing coming on. If we go on for another 2 years, they're going to call election for another 2 years. So I think we need to do the work. I mean, the caretakers, they need to get the voters list, go there from now and start penciling people. Get them and see.
I 100% agreed with you. I believe that we need to start now. You understand? And as you said, because I spoke about that as it relates to the voters list, because the voters apathy, right? That needs to be definitely resolved. Right? Because we know that the voters' apathy is much less, right? You have dead people on the list. You have people who are migrated and all of that. The list needs to be cleared. And JLP is using that advantage. So we have to get into it. We have to start. And that is one of the reasons why I am saying that I am not going to allow even some platform who trying to bring a third-party narrative. We are going to mash down that. We are going to mash down that. Any platform that is out there telling lies, you understand, and try to say that the PNP and the GLP, you understand, are one of the kind. We are going to mash down that because that is a lie.
They need to look at the history. They need to read the book and read the history and see what the two parties do.
Sir,
you come out and say both parties are the same.
Sir, and let me say this to you. Let me say this to you. There is nothing in the history. There's nothing in the political record, but particularly when it comes to corruption and persons, right, going to prison, right? I told them, sir, time and time, just check Google, right? You will see that not one PNP member of parliament, right, who has put through the judiciary and found guilty. But you hear some propaganda that talk about furniture scandal. You hear some propaganda that talk about Shell Wave. No, those were scandal that this very same GLP concocted. Trafigura wasn't a scandal. It wasn't a scandal. Now, if Trafigura was a scandal, look on the SSL. Look on the SSL that is now funding the Jamaica Labour Party, and where Andrew Holness and Darrell Vaz in a SSL, and where SSL rob investors, you understand, and put portion of that money in the JLP campaign. Isn't that worse than Trafigura? Isn't that worse than traffic? So then if some idiot, let me say this, and I don't like to disrespect people, you know. I don't like to disrespect people, you know, but just if you want to double down and talk about the PNP and GLP, they are the same thing. Let me say this to you, idiot. You understand? Can you prove it? If you are saying Trafigura, right, is a scandal, what happened to SSL? What happened to SSL? SSL is a Ponzi scheme that Andrew Holness and, as a matter of fact, Andrew Holness and Darrell Vaz involved in all the Ponzi scheme that ever gone to Jamaica. Am I lying? Carla, am I lying? Andrew Holness and Darrell Vaz, they're involved in Cash Plus, you understand, between the period 2006 to 2007. They're also involved in Olent, you understand, both Andrew Holness and Darrell Vaz. Both Andrew Holness and Darrell Vaz involved in SSL as a matter of fact. And Darrell Vaz is the permanent secretary in a SSL. He's the one who operates, you understand, several Jamaica Labour Party accounts in SSL. And from the time that I interviewed, right, a hierarchy in SSL, Darrell Vaz cannot come out and speak on the matter. And I'm waiting on him, you know. Me I wait for him, you know. When me said to him, I said to everybody, you understand, why you don't come out and say I like Darrell Vaz? Because I have something I know more and dash out, you know. But me I wait for you know. Darrell Vaz, may I ask you a question? Why don't you come out and say, okay, all right, you see the nice boy, the mystic sensation with the chat up him out and lie my tell for me. You understand? I was not holding X amount of GLP account in a SSL. Why not come out and say it? Because you know you can't come out and say it. Because you know it is true. Yes, go ahead, Carla.
I lose the money down in Orleans myself too. I lose money in Orleans, I lose money in Caspers. Both of them I lose money. And I never know these guys was in it. I never know they were part of it.
Them are criminal. Them are criminal.
But back to the thing at hand, you know, campaign.
Yes.
I think strategies, I mean, it's very important. Very important. How are we going to win? Because if we start with many people to come out, they are not going to come out. We have to find a way to get them out. And I think one thing is you go in every constituency and keep a little town hall meeting every so often and you know, get all the people them. Because we don't have the level of money to give to buy vote and all that, but the guys them could pay for vote and people will take the money. People are hungry, they will take the money. But you have to find out, get a way around it. How can you get a way around the money? You know? And as I say, if anybody comes to
but Carla, listen me. Carla, listen.
Don't entertain no third party argument because third party cannot go nowhere more safe on our vote.
Exactly, Carla.
That's all it do.
Exactly.
That's all it do.
And I love how you spoke on that. Really appreciate that. Right? And let me say something. Let me say something. Right? Because you just said in terms of going around the money. Let me tell you something. I am not going to here and as I said, I don't mince my word. You understand? If them run out the money, take the money, yam them out and vote them out.
That's the thing, but we have to have a strategy to say
a lot of people not going to agree with me, you know. But you understand? So we are taking to them the strip here, you know. We take it to them the strip and we are telling people, they say, watch out now. Right? Because them can't find out who will vote. And since they want to thief the election in terms of buying the election, take the money, yam them out and vote them out. And the argument done. Yes, Carla.
And when I think you have to look until, you know, you see this ID, what they call it? What they call the ID? The national ID what they bringing in.
NITS.
That ID we might try to bring in, you have to be very careful with it, you know, because election is 5 years from now.
Yes.
And I mean the word strategy have to be involved in everything you're doing.
All right.
If you don't have no strategy, you cannot win.
All right.
No. If somewhere down the road now, they come and say, boy, if you don't have this ID, you can't vote. What you do?
Exactly. That's why I love how you are having this conversation. Telling them that they need to get on top of everything. Get on top of everything right now. Don't be confused. Because let me say something to you. Let me say something to you, Carla. Let me say something to you, Carla. You think the GLP people them don't know say any day them lose the election or prison them gone? Them know that, you know. And they will do everything for all on, you know.
So they will do anything.
Okay.
They're like a wounded animal.
Okay.
They know. So they're going to do everything to win that election. And the next one coming, they're going to do whatever. They're not going to do the same thing again. Whatever they do this time, they're not going to do it again because we figure out and see what they do. So they're planning something different.
Exactly.
So they're probably using Melissa money, using Melissa aid, giving their people. They're giving their people these things.
All right.
They're not giving the PNP because PNP can't change. You know what change the PNP by giving them anything at all.
All right, my brother. But you want now, Carl, I'm going to run left you now because the program You understand? We have some serious thing. Blessings, Makala, but I love it. Blessings.
I'm glad to hear from you.
Ah, yeah, man. Blessings.
All right, well, take care of you, man.
Same to you, my brother.
Keep up the burn the fire, man.
Thank you.
Just keep on burning the fire.
All right, blessings.
All right, my friend.
All right. Let me just crush this. Let me just crush this third-party initiative right now. Let me just crush this third-party initiative and hand over to Melton. Anybody would have talked about third party? Anyone who have this third-party idea? Let me say something. Go back and look as it relates to the origination of the People's National Party. What are you looking for? You are looking for the social programs that created by the People's National Party. Let me say this before I hand over to Melton Pot. The Jamaica Labour Party spent more time in government than the People's National Party. But yet, of all the years that they have spent, they have not passed Jamaica. Listen to me, Jamaica. And this is one of the reasons why we burn out third party too. Of all the years that Jamaica Labour Party spent, right, in governance, they have not passed 20 solid social programs. They have not. And don't ask me, I ask. Do the research. They have not. I am talking about 20. They have not. When you look at the People's National Party, from 1938 until we speak, the People's National Party had passed over 700 social programs that the GLP is using. So let me ask. This is the reason why civic is important. And this is the reason why Jamaica Labour Party fight against education. Because they don't want you to be aware. You hear me, Jamaican people? It's a method, a methodology that been using from slavery, from the days of slavery. Willie Lynch. Have you heard about Willie Lynch? And what Willie Lynch said? Willie Lynch said, ensure that the slaves are not educated. Let me teach you people about history. Willie Lynch, to keep the slaves, to continue enslave the slaves for more than 400 years. Willie Lynch said, ensure that the slaves are not educated. And what Willie Lynch created? Willie Lynch created the plantation slave and the house slaves. Now, let me teach you something about capitalism, and particularly crony capitalism. And that is why people need to understand. Let me tell you something. The day that Donald Trump leaves power, which is very soon, the day that Donald Trump leaves power, Andrew Holness is in trouble. Andrew Holness' administration is in trouble. Because Donald Trump is a crony capitalist. They don't believe in developing the poor countries. They don't believe in that. They believe the continuation to ensure they continue to enslave them as it relates to their policy. But Michael Manley said that you need to read. You need to seek education, because it's only education that is going to guide your pathway. For persons who say that they are brilliant, I wonder how much have they taught as it relates to the political science, the history of our politics? How much have they known? For persons who want to compare the PNP and the GLP, I ask them one simple question. Where is the evidence that proven through the judiciary? But what they are going to give you, they're going to give you propaganda. Some will say to you, you never hear about it. I have spoken with them. I have dialogue with them. And they know that they can't manage me. Some of them on their platform, I have one-to-one talk with them. And not one of them ever succeed in terms of having an argument with me. Not one. And they all fail when I say, present the evidence. And I also send them the evidence that I have. Not one of them oppose it. Not one of them oppose it. And some of them, they are listening to me now and they know that I have spoken the truth. Some of them, they will not challenge me because they know, guess what? Truth will always surface over lie. And so we tell them, democratic socialism for the rights of our people, for the rights for nation building, and to push our people forward. And let me hand over the task to Melting Pot. Melting Pot.
Yes, sir, Lord Byron. You know, I listened to the caller just now and make a few points that are in keeping with, you know, how we would like the energy to flow through the People's National Party. But, you know, I am not here to be confused by any third party, you know, news within the space. Because no third party can come and be a part of Jamaica political landscape as it is right now. Marvin Edgar cannot, you know, offer anything to the People's National Party in terms of representation. Partner Draw can't do it either. Yeah, none of them people can do it. Them have a work to do right now and they must stick to that work. If you are going to use a platform to change, you know, the mind of the society and to bring them around to the understanding of which party really work for the people in Jamaica, continue doing that. But scrap the idea of forming a third party. Secondly, the People's National Party don't have to do anything different than what they did leading up to the general election. Remember, the People's National Party won the last local government election, you know, and won it handsomely. Yeah? And, you know, get control of the KSMAC, St. Catherine Municipal, and other, you know, municipal corporation was a turning point. And Jamaican must always remember, in our history of politics, whenever you see the leadership change within the local government, it automatically spill over into the general election and you get a change of government as well. What has happened in the last general election is that when Andrew Holness realized that the People's National Party had wrestled back the municipal corporation and, you know, control that local government sector, he went into his chess move mode and used some fictitious people, individual like Dushan Shavadia, Gladstone Brown, and several more people to carry out the stealing of the general election. Another thing that contrived to the People's National Party was the fact that the supporters not being educated to the 1944 People's Act, which is a part of the Constitution, which clearly states that on the day of a general election, no one casting them vote must be in party colors. Now we know the blood and fire comrade train was in high motion right throughout the campaign. Yeah, and just saw the wave of orange. Yeah, and realized, well, no way the Labour Party can stand the momentum that the People's National Party had at the time. And so he went and introduced electronic voting in certain constituency to protect those certain member of parliament who are very high up in his cabinet and who are a part of the fundamental scheme that put together to rob the taxpayers and utilize all the various means of corruption. Yeah, so the People's National Party, under no circumstance did they lose the election because of lack of support from within the People's National Party movement. It was stolen through voter suppression because you can easily identify the People's National Party supporters. It was stolen by sending out ink from the EOJ office, which was the first that has ever happened in our election process. Yeah, it was by the action of the Prime Minister and his wife who break all the protocol, overstay the time within the polling station division, and were seen maliciously carrying out act of atrocity. Yeah, they use money and all type of things. No, I don't want the People's National Party to use money, to buy a vote, because that is breaking the law, the 1944 People's Act. So what the People's National Party did was sufficient canvassing and campaigning, and they had the numbers and the day. That is why we have seen a 100% increase. Yeah, and remember, it was even more than 100% increase. They, for some reason, took back the seat from Steve McGregor and gave it to Donovan Williams, citing allegation that, some ballot was in envelope. Well, we know ballot don't go in envelope. Yeah, because we don't have any system where you post your vote. Yeah, ballot goes into ballot box. Yeah. So the numbers show, yeah, that the People's National Party, yeah, advanced themselves from a low 14 seat to 29, one was taken away. And the other rest was stolen using the electronic system. When you see the both internet provider went down simultaneously along with the electricity provider JPS. Now we know that the Jamaica Labour Party have close ties with JPS. We all know about that. Yeah, we know that Dushan Shavadia was the man who come in with that technology side of things. Yeah, and we know as well that both provider, in terms of the internet providers, yeah, Digicel and Flow, they contrive with the government as well. Yes, so the election was stolen. The People's National Party don't have to change anything or do anything different. All them have to do is continue what they did leading up to the last two elections, the local and the general. We will be here to minimize the corruption from the government side of things. Yeah, by pointing out, as a matter of fact, let me tell the people, had we known earlier about what was in place to steal the seat them, when we know about it, we couldn't react to it. Yeah, and so them get up with that, because we get the info late. Yeah, we would have reigned skin, and that would have been mentioned, and no way they could have instituted those 7 electronic seats. Constituency with the electronic voting. They would have to scrap that, but we hear about it late. You understand? So we know they steal the general election. Yeah. So all the People's National Party need to do is continue working along the same line, because the People's National Party is a decent party, Under the heading of the Manleys, yeah. The party was constructed to operate with integrity. Yes? Remember Michael Manley said that. So we will not go down the road of boat vying and all these things and carrying out displacement of people in community and running away with ballot box using police and all these garbage. No, that is not true democracy. Yeah, and I 100% back the PMP to continue on the same pathway journey, and Jamaica will get deliverance in the next general election. There's no two ways about it. The gap has closed. The pressure is on now in Parliament. People are being exposed. Jamaican people are getting wiser. We think we could have done it in the first cycle. Yeah. And I know we did accomplish that, but they use mechanism. I know they won't repeat the same dose in the next cycle, which is currently on its way. Right? And then Jamaica now, yeah, with we in the background, teaching the people them, showing the people them the work of the People's National Party, challenging the Jamaica Labour Party to come up and put up something when them speaking, yeah, so that them can educate them voters as to what they have done. So far, they can't come and measure up to that. You understand? The next thing, people know, because of the poor performance of the Jamaica Labour Party, are seeing an opportunity to engage themselves into politics. But there's no way they will have the funding to carry out any true, challenge as it relates to leadership being obtained for run Jamaica. So what that will do, that will only cause confusion. And Marvin, Edgar, and whoever come up with this formula need to rethink again. Yeah? You have to have the money where Andrew Wallace have. Yeah? You have to have more money to buy out Andrew Wallace. You also have to have a platform in terms of a solid base to operate from. The PMP have a solid base already, right? That can only be rivaled by the Jamaica Labour Party using fictitious means by, buying vote and all the variants that I have pointed out. Yeah, no third party will cut it. Yeah, so I could take that off of the table. Yeah, and I don't even want to waste the time I think about them garbage and them third party initiative where they want to come in with. What I do is focus on the work that has really begun. And I know there's not much more work to be done for the People's National Party to retain, the governance of Jamaica. And that is when Jamaican life will start to, see a change and an upturn in their future. So I'm just saying to the People's National Party, continue doing what you're doing. It's a job that has been, seen to be done in a very diplomatic and proficient way with dignity, pride, and integrity. And I yield back the floor.
All right, blessings. And let me say, all right, so we see CJAM speaking about Juliet Onus being an inspirator behind Andrew Onus, and no doubt she's right. She's correct. She's a powerful influence behind Andrew Onus, and she's what I call a political tegareg, and there's no joke about that. Now the few clips that we are going to utilize and finish will be touching, and let me say this, Jamaican people, to you all. You remember that I brought up Juliet Onus property on this particular channel, right? Let me say this categorically clear, right? That I have reached out to relevant authorities, right? And I have sent, the entire file to them, right? And they are now, dealing with some investigation. So for you to know, as it relates to what we had shown, and we'll be just running over that, right? Now let us go through this fast because we already exceeded time, and I hope I can use the next 26 minutes to wrap up this, right? And out of here by 4. All right, let us just get into the few last 4 clips here. Let us get into this, Jamaican people. All right. Now, this is where we are at, my Jamaican people. Look at this. Government, and this is very significant in terms of where I'm going. And I just want to show Jamaica the evidence of Andrew Holness and Juliet Holness, wickedness and evil. This is what we're going to use and confirm their evil. Look at this. This is JI's document. And I particularly use JI's document to say that, okay, this is no propaganda. This is coming from Jamaica Information Service, right? Okay. Government to demolish illegal structures erected by gangs in Bernard Lodge development area. Now, we all remember this. Look at him. Look at him. Now, listen to this, Jamaican people. We could go back through this. Structures illegally erected. Listen to what he's saying, you know. Melting pot, just scrubble down this as it relates to what the Prime Minister is saying. Structures illegally erected on lands adjoining the Clifton community in St. Catherine, which have been captured by criminal gangs, will be demolished starting Thursday, October the 6th. And the Prime Minister saying that, you know, I want to listen in Jamaica. Prime Minister, right, the most dishonorable Andrew Holness made the disclosure while providing an update on the Bernard Lodge development plan in the House of Representatives on October 5. This will be a watershed moment in Jamaica, you hear him? It is not the first time the government has moved to rectify illegal settlements, but it is the first time that an illegal settlement sponsored by a criminal gang will be treated. Now, all of that what the Prime Minister said a lie. And the Prime Minister's own friend, the principal who had done this, you know, who associated with Andrew Holness himself, you know. And all of this that the Prime Minister saying that it is gang involved in this pure line of people. Look on this. I want this to be an example and a warning and a caution to Jamaicans, he said. By tomorrow morning, action will begin to clear those structures he declared. And I stop it right here, so. I want everybody write down this. Melting pot, write down this. By tomorrow morning, action will begin to clear those structures he declared. Let me move over that document. The people have know where I am going. The people have already know where I am going. Now look at these people. We don't definitely know where I am going. Look at this Jamaican people. I think the Prime Minister hesitated. Look at this. Want to remember this?
Nobody for them Finsack house. You will never hear me bad mind nobody for them squatter land where them a live pan. You will never hear me bad mind nobody for where them have. Including the existence of criminal gangs and the capture of communities, Madam Speaker. And our survey, we received a report and we have done our own surveillance, and we have discovered that in proximity to Clifton, which is shown, so this is a Clifton community demarked in red, but just above it, if you're facing it, it would be to your left. This area has been captured. So, Madam Speaker, the National Security Council, in reviewing the development plan, observed an insidious and growing threat in the area where alleged gangsters were capturing lands in the area adjoining the Clifton community, creating their own informal subdivision and selling these lands under the false pretense of ownership or building on them themselves. You will never hear me bad.
Jamaica, are the Prime Minister, personal friend, school principal, which now them silent the case, you know. You can't hear nothing about the case, you know. Selling those lands, you know. The Prime Minister, own friend, personal friend. Now, When we talk about the wickedness with Andrew Holness, and let me talk about Mark Golding, who has an heart and who's sympathetic to the needs of the poor. Look what Mark Golding had done. Just look. Look what Mark Golding had said about it. The viciousness of Andrew Holness. Listen to Mark Golding's response.
On the second leg of our diaspora tour, but we've been following the events happening in Jamaica concerning the residents of the community of Clifton and St. Catherine quite closely. And we're very concerned that the government should be, without due process and without thinking about the impact on the lives of families who are affected, demolishing people's homes without notice, adequate notice, or any arrangements as to what is to happen to them. Now, I'm not commenting on whether or not they have followed the right procedures. They may have been victims of fraudsters, whatever it may be. But these are Jamaican citizens who have invested in building homes where their families live. And to just come there and demolish their homes without considering the impact you're having on their lives is cruel and oppressive. And we call on the government to stop doing this, and before they proceed with any such thing, have proper arrangements in place to minimize the negative impact on the lives of these vulnerable people. It cannot be that in the 21st century, the government, which is elected to protect the people, should be treating them in such a callous and mean way. We are here.
Okay. Now, just imagine, right? Mark Golding is sympathetic to the needs of the poor, right? But Andrew Holness, vicious and wicked. Let me just have the caller on the line to speak to us. Yes, caller. Right. Go ahead.
Okay. What the reason why I call in is I heard something, and when I was growing up as a child, I remember the older folks saying, "Puss no like si puss a carry long bag." Get my point?
Yes.
Yes, and he's calling criminals, and look where he is at now. You understand?
Yes.
He's calling people criminals for capture land. Look where he is at now. You understand? So it just goes to show a push never likes to see push carry long bag, because people are capture land, you capturing it, but you don't want nobody else to do it. This uncertified crime boss, old pimp man, you have all the opportunity in the country, and all you use it to do is rob people, kill people, and benefit off of them death and whatever them have leave on earth, because all you do is capture their land. You unalive the poor little picnic them when he even live no life yet. Why are you doing it? Because you and your friends need to have more money. Because down at Spanish Town, me can't remember the man who run the funeral parlor down there, me can't remember any name. But that's where uno making some amount of money. I cannot believe what is happening at the university hospital, and the whole of uno involved in there. That's why you take the election from the constituency from Mr. McGregor and give it to your friend, and him tie up in a one piece. I want Rosie to continue reading out on uncertified cast. I want Rosie to it look like on a silence and Rosie to do. It look like on a silence Rosie because I not hear nothing more. But here's the deal. I am in this also I won't even acknowledge Anne-Marie Vaz, but I want to say something to her. Anne-Marie Vaz, you ever hear Mark Golding name call in a SSL dirty mix up? You ever hear his name call in a having, did Mark Golding work during COVID and have 28 bank account Anne-Marie Vaz? Eh? It look like Dr. Bloomfield Doppia ride you. Dr. Bloomfield Doppia ride in a scholar rent space in there. So when he start ride your backside, you take it out from Mark Golding and Isaac Buchanan. Leave the gentleman alone. You and Andrew have something a carry for Mark, and Michael Manley. So when you head a hat, when the doctor them arrive, you come out and come talk about Michael Manley was a communist and Russia and this and that. Now you come in after you take on Isaac the other day. Now you come after Mark Golden. Girl, take a mirror and look in there. You and your Don's husband, your uncertified Don's husband. The time you take a mirror and look in there. And when you look, who you see? And that's how you see Croft. Look in the mirror and see who are Croft. Because you want to mix up, you can't walk in a Mark shoes. You cannot walk in Mark Golden's shoes. You will never be able. I heard somebody came on the program a while ago. Where you come from? Where you papa there? Me never even want to get into that, but me know your story, But me not able for you, so me not go get into it now. Because you think you are anybody, you come from Duff House and Manchester. And the Port Kaiser was just below Duff House where you live. You understand? Where you come from. So the person who came on a while ago, right, ask them what you know about Port Kaiser, and you and your generation them know about down at Port Kaiser. Ono ticket. When was this again? May have your something there. But your card open now and stop mess with Mark Golden because somebody go and read your ticket for you. You're too damn rude. You go in a parliament and sit down in there for how much term, and you never get up and say a word for your constituents other than every time the roll call you say present. Is that what them pay you for? So you get rich now and you want to turn it over for Mark Golden. Dr. Bloomfield and the rest of Ducky them in your head are call. So you want to take it out for Mark Golden. Leave Mark alone. You will never be able to go to Oxford University. You couldn't even manage the University of the West Indies. How you going to go to Oxford University? You're called rude. And to your uncertified boss, do not call Michael Manley name in your mouth again. Because you're a thieving, uncertified, undignified pimp. All you do is pimp out the country and give it to your cronies them. You old damn old pimp you and your wife. Thank you, Byron.
Blessings, my sister. Blessings. All right. Okay. All right. There you have it from the caller there. Now, one of the reasons why I show all of that in terms of how Andrew Holness demolish, right, those people homes, right? However, for breaching municipal laws. Now, I could quickly run back to Lee's flat. And I could ask Andrew Holness if he's going to send the tractor. Look at this, Jamaican people. We could go back over it. That's why we go here, sir. For show you the wickedness. Look on it, see there. Here it is, the lease flat property, Juliet Holness. And where the IC, the Integrity Commission investigators don't know nothing about this, people. See it here? Right? Now, look back through this. We could just read right here, so. Agency approval of record for development of property. Summary of NEPA and KSACs. Agency approval the residential multi-family development of lot 21. And people, by the way, this situation, right? Now investigation is on its way for it. Now 21B volume 1364 located in Lee's flat, Forest Hills, Red Hill, Kingston, St. Andrew, Jamaica received agency approval as follows. Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, the application was granted June 5th, 2019. National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA, that sits within the Prime Minister's responsibilities, within the Prime Minister's office. The application was granted May 31st, 2019. Amendment, according to the NEPA, amendment in the people, see there? Amendment, according to the NEPA and KSMAC, the current June 2, 2019 and May 31st, 2019, respective approval should be an amendment of the previous approval date 31st, 2013. Right, the amendment to the proposed multifamily residential development is in the form of 2 additional blocks and a basement provision. Now, let me say this, Jamaica. You see it? Andrew Holness mashed down the people in house. Because so-called the people them capture land and the people them breach. Mashed down the people house. But you see what Andrew Holness do yourself? After wife breach. You understand? They go back and make an amendment. Our wife breached the rules and regulation of KSMC. But look at this, people. Look at the unfairness. Look at the criminality, yes, sir. You understand? We will make amendment to appease his wife breach. Come on, people. That's why we go back feet, you know. Development approvals. The proposed multifamily and single-family residential development is consists of 6 2-story townhouse A, B, C, D, and E, consisting of 4 units, each with block C and E containing basement level for entertainment. 2 3-story apartment block G and F with block of containing 2 basement level consisting of 2 studio units on each level. 2 studio, right, 1 bedroom units on the first to 3rd floor. Block G containing parking at the ground floor level and 2 studio and 2 1-bedroom units, right? Total lot area is 10,557, right, 0.72 square meter, equivalent to 2.60 acres. That is the only thing what Juliet owners have, and total floor area is 7,554 square meter, 1.86 acres. We don't look at our paper. Andrew owners, now send tractor, fill it down this. Now watch this now. See it here? Unit A, nothing over there yet. Unit A, Unit C, Unit E, right? Unit B, Unit D, and Unit G, right? Nothing is not there as yet, right? And so remember, you know, 800 million, as it relates to what Juliet owner said, the property, right, cars, right? Remember, Integrity Commission investigators don't know nothing about this, you know. You understand? So they are in problem with this. And now to the fact that the IC will be getting this. You understand? It is more bangarang for Andrew Holness as it relates to his statutory declaration. As it relates to his statutory declaration. Again, more bangarang. See here, people. Aerial view of development. Right? Now let me show you the breach. Matters of concern. See the matters of concern here. Andrew Holness. No send tractor. Figure it down. The wife mistake. In the send on tractor. Adjust the wife mistake, you know. Look here. Habitable rooms per acre, total acreage 2.6. That is the total acreage we have. Applicable regulation, 30 habitable rooms acreage. Right? Expected for regulatory compliance, 78 habitable rooms at 2.6 acreage. Look at it, you know, people. 69 habitable rooms at 2.3 acreage. And 95 habitable rooms at 3.16 acreage. And 120 habitable rooms at 4 acres acreage. Watch out. Look what Juliet owners have. Agency approval of record, 95 habitable rooms. So she's supposed to have 78. And the agency approved 95, which is in breach. At 2.6 acres alone she have, and a 78 habitable place thing she's supposed to have. But she extended to 95. But you what now? She even go worse than that. The indicative breach. Actual habitants room in excess of 120 rooms. And see there now, the 120 habitable rooms of 4 acres she's supposed to have, you know. And she only have 2.6 acres. And Andrew Holness a send tractor. The government a send tractor. But they send tractor for the poor people who can't afford it. You send tractor. Let me take away this document because we go through this document time and time. Let me just take it to it. Now, melting pot. This is the thing what I say. Welcome to the tractor now. This is more serious, you know, than what happened at the area that him send tractor and mash down the people of house. Want to this now. Melting pot, here say, close us out. Because we already gone over the time. So close us out with this.
Well, this is a matter of priority for the relevant authority now in charge of the KSMAC. And I mean, if it was not, to the awareness of the Integrity Commission, let's hope they, come on to this now, because this need addressing, Yeah, because we're good for the goose, good for the gander. And I mean, we have seen what took place over Clifton, early morning raid on the people property, citing the allegation that the people built on capture land and that it was clansman them sell the people land. Now, we subsequently knew who was selling the land to the people. So the people have all right to build such structure because they automatically thought that they had bought the land from relevant authorities. Okay? So the people did not breach anything. Now, what we have seen in that regard is that the Prime Minister did a due diligence and a ventilation as to, the whole knowledge of what took place over there. It was an ignorant move by a dictator we saw. Today he was in Parliament making reference, and the next morning, less than 24 hours, he went and carried out a demolition with people like Dennis Brooks, senior strategist of police at the time. And we also saw the military in operation. This is why we know this guy is a dictator. We also saw the JCF. So it was a giant military operation that went in along with demolition team and some unscrupulous person with hammer in short pants and slippers. Yeah, I refer to those men dressing that, outfit, going on a demolition site to be gangsters that was accompanying the Prime Minister. Yeah. Subsequently, we learned it was Ward Brown, a well-known accomplice of the Prime Minister, who sold the land. And we have not heard anything. We haven't heard whether these people had regained the money that they invest in buying the lands. We have not heard anything in terms of what was the recompense being given back to the people for demolishing their structure that was built on land that they paid for, land that they did not capture, land that was not sold to them by a clansman. Yeah, we want to know what happened to that line of investigation. Now we are saying that the Prime Minister cannot carry out this type of course of action against the Jamaican citizen. But when his wife is in breach of planning permission and planning regulation, their structure still remain intact. What is good for the goose is good for the gander. And I'm saying no, to the authorities who is now privy to this bit of information, that they should go in and do what is right by demolishing the excess building that currently been built on a 2.6 acres of land that can only under the planning regulation build 78 houses. We have seen where the land now have 120 and have 2 spaces that would add additional more rooms to that 2.6 acre land, which would put it well over the 4 acre. But Juliet don't have 4 acres, so there's a lot of breach that need to be ironed out. And one way of ironing it out is by going in and do the demolition of what the structure should not have. Bring it back to what it should have. And I yield back the floor to you, Sir Lord Byron.
Well, Melting Pot, there it is, because, we have to run. All right, let me say a big thanks to all of my peeps who passing through and continue to support the channel, right? We love it, right? Because guess what? At the end of the day, you are giving us the energy, right? And, I start to feel that, we have a movement going as it relates to checks and balance on the government. And we are not going to leave our people to be exposed by, the level of wickedness and evil that we have seen taking over our politics, right? And we will not stop right? Until, of course, we have the corruption in our rear view mirror. And Jamaican people stick and stay with us, right? All the various channels who are speaking the truth, you understand, who use their platform as it relates to checks and balance and holding government accountable, right? So we remember, stay tuned and let us be aware, be alert right now. All Manlyites, right? All supporters of the People's National Party, make sure that we are doing our campaign as we begin. We start and never lose focus. Never lose focus. All the lies, we aim to mash them down and we prove it with record. Number one, they cannot survive. And one of the reasons why they cannot survive, because the lies, they have no history, you understand, to support their lies. All you're going to hear is propaganda that baseless, has not gone nowhere, no record, no document as it relates to even the judiciary to prove, you understand, any of their propaganda. The furniture scandal, the Shell wave, pure propaganda, pure lies that the very GLP concocted. So Jamaica, stay focused. We say democratic socialism for the poor, building a better nation and moving forward better and stronger. I'm out. Bless up, Melting Pot. Really love, you understand, right? Great team, and we hold tight. Bigging up, fighting for our nation. Love you, my Jamaican people. One love. Blessings. I'm out.
And people remember Titans tonight. Yeah? We're
All
out
right.
there. Once again, fire. Blessings.
Blessings.
So why you come to me with that foolishness, you know? You elect a prime minister, and is a prime minister run the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want the right kind of stupid argument. Hold the people you elect accountable and stop making excuses for them.